Before commencing this broadcast, Gameface would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land of which we broadcast from today. We pay our respects to elders, past and present. We would also like to acknowledge any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people present with us during this broadcast.
Well, just about the perfect day for footy, election day. But let's not worry about election day too much. We're more interested in what happens when the votes have been counted tonight. We're more interested in what happens when the footy is about to be bounced a little bit later on in the inaugural Chris Bull Cup, named after one of the greats of the MPNFL as a player and administrator involved with both clubs, Bonbeach and also the Frankston Bombers, who are playing today. And not only is it a big game for the Chris Bull Cup, it's also a massive game for both teams. Bonbeach 5th on the table, the Bombers 6th on the table, both 3 wins and 3 losses. And should the Bombers win today, they'll usurp one of the premiership favourites, Bonbeach, in the race for a spot in September or late August in a couple of months' time. Paul Smith, the president of the Bonbeach Football Club, has joined me. Chris Sharman will join us very shortly as well to talk about the man that is Chris Bull, that this big day is in honour of today. Paul, welcome. Thanks, it is a massive day, isn't it? A huge day, not only for Chris Bull and his family, but for both teams in their quest to play finals.
100%. Both teams evenly matched, as you said, both in positions that we probably thought we wouldn't have been. And, yeah, it's just a perfect day, perfect conditions. Bully wouldn't have wanted any better. 2 teams that mean a lot to him are going to go battle today, and let's hope it's a great contest.
Are you frustrated that you're not going better? I mean, a few things have gone against you, haven't they, in regard to COVID? The coach got COVID, players have got COVID. I mean, we just saw Lukey Verma before. He's got a bad injury. Yeah, a couple of others haven't been able to get up. And you've also lost players the day before as well, which has made it tough, hasn't it?
It has. Yeah, the day of, we've had people pull out with COVID. Every week we've had someone affected by it. This week, probably the first week, we haven't had anyone affected with it. But that's not excuses. We're not getting excuses. We haven't played full games. We've played 3/4 of games, and that's been shown. And everyone can see the footage, and they can see that. YCW, we played the first 3 quarters and didn't finish off the game. Similar with Mount Eliza and Pines, they got the first quarter jump on us, and we only played the last 3. So when we start stringing 4 quarters together against Sereno, like we did, we show we can still put the right game out there. So hopefully today we start from the start, and away we go.
Are you feeling the pressure knowing that you were one of the pre-season premiership favourites because of the excellent list you've got?
Oh, yes and no. Yeah, look, there is pressure, but we still think that we're going all right, and it's only round 6. You know, we're only 6 rounds in. It's a long season. So it is. Yeah, we've lost a couple that we should have won, but we're still confident we're going to be there at the end of the year. So,
what do you think Chris Bull will be saying to the team today?
I'd be telling them to go in hard, put your head over the ball. If there's ever a time you do it, today's the day. He'd be wanting both sides to make a good contest. Chris was my first coach at Bonbeach when I first came to the club, and he was a tough player, really tough.
Was he?
Yeah, one of the toughest you'd see out in the ground, but he was fantastic. Great leader, brought people together, great motivator, bringing everyone involved in the club, and it was great. Just great to be under him. And the amount of passion he had for the game and for the club, and he's shown that at both Frankston and Bonbeach. But it wasn't just there. He was at Chelsea. He was at Devon Meadows. He was interleague coach for a record 8 years.
Which is amazing, isn't it? I mean, that's a great record too.
Well, they won't be beaten because there's no interleague anymore.
No, that's right.
But, that was...
Interleague's meant to be today, by the way.
Yes.
Today.
Unfortunately, we don't have it anymore. I mean, it was we would have been playing on the MCG, wouldn't we, I think?
I think so.
Yeah. So,
he'd be turning in his grave, wouldn't he, that there's no interleague?
And he used the bus trips, and people talk about it across the peninsula, about the great bus trips of the interleague that Chris ran. And he was just a great person, caring about everyone else all the time and making sure that everyone else is okay. And, even when he was sick, he was still worried about other people and how other people were dealing and looking after other people. So
he wanted to keep it quiet, didn't he? He didn't want any fuss about his prostate cancer, which he had for 12 years.
No, but he still... He wanted people to go and get checked, and that was his main message.
Yeah.
I promised him I'd do it yearly now. And
I do too, because my father had it.
Yeah, so everyone watching, make sure you do your check.
Absolutely.
Go and see your doctor. It's just a blood test these days. It's not invasive or anything, so go and do it. And as he said to me, if he didn't go and get his test at 49, he wouldn't have lasted as long as he did. So, just go and do it. But he didn't want. We tried to do a fundraiser for him last year. We tried to do the Chris Bull Cup last year, and he threatened to sack me. So
he threatened to sack you.
He was going to sack me if we went ahead with it. So
how could he sack you? He's still on the committee, was he?
No, I work for him.
Oh, you work for him, right? Okay.
He was going to sack me, Dad. But no, just a bit of a laugh. A great sense of humour, Chris had. So yeah, no, he came into the office there one morning and sat me down and said, "You go ahead with this, Smithy. You're sacked." So we canned it. So no, he was just a passionate bloke and didn't want anything about him. So yeah.
Was it tough when I know in those days you guys played Mornington, Bombers played Nepean, so it was a different competition, even though it was the same league, that he got involved in a different club. When he went from Bonbeach to Bombers and became their coach and then became part of their committee, was it tough for people at Bonbeach to see him in that role
we
doing
always
so
want
well?
him with us because we knew how much he meant to us. But if he's moved on, that was fine. And, hey, Petters, just walking past. But no, it was, and the reason our clubs have a great relationship now is because of Chris. I've got friends at the Bombers now that I'm friends with because of Chris and bringing us together. So, like I said, he was good at bringing people together, and there's a great rivalry between the Bombers and Bonbeach now, thanks to Chris's connection.
Do you think that he favoured one club ahead of another? I mean,
well, I'm going to say Bonbeach.
He would have seen them in 2019 play each other. I mean, that would have been hard for him to watch.
No, he loved
in
it.
2018.
Loved going to it. The bloke coming in behind me, he's going to say the opposite of me, but no, he hasn't come in yet. Batty, when he gets here, he'll say he favoured Bombers, but no, we still think he's a Shark. He's a life member of our club, and if he's looking down today, I think he wants us to win, but I just hope he thinks a good battle is what he'd be wanting today.
Exactly, because he was your last premiership coach. That means a lot to everyone,
Captain,
doesn't it?
he was.
Last premiership captain, I should say. Yeah.
He was captain he was coach of the under-18s that year, captain of the seniors, won the best and fairest. He's got a big legacy. He's left a big legacy with our club and means a lot to a lot of people at Bonbeach.
And I think the half-century team of the year, wasn't he?
He's coach of that.
Yes. Played it.
I can't remember.
I think he's the ruckman in that.
He is.
Yes.
He's got about 3 listings on it. Maybe an assistant coach.
Yeah.
Ruckman and captain possibly. I'll have to check the facts on that. But
and what sort of player was he?
Tough, and the current team talks about being ruthless.
Yes.
Chris was ruthless. He was tough. He made people earn it, and he was great to watch. Yeah.
So you'll hold it once a year?
Yeah, the first time we play each other every year.
Right.
It'll be the Chris Bull Cup. So,
which is fantastic, isn't it?
It'll go on forever.
And now that he's not around, he's not going to sack you, Paul.
The job's safe.
I believe there was something that he did, and the vice president of Bonbeach at the time, and I think he organised business lunches or something, or sponsor lunches.
Yep.
And the vice president said, "Not going to work, Willie. Not going to work."
Treasurer Elder Young
right.
said,
The treasurer
won't work. We now do 2 a year.
What did he say, the treasurer, after the first one?
Well, I think he might have agreed that he might have been wrong. But no, they're a great turnout now, and that was all Chris's suggestion. And Al didn't think it would work, and no one will pay that much for a ticket. But no, it's a great day. It's all inclusive, and we get some great talent in to speak to the gentleman's. We used to be called a gentleman's business lunch, but now it's open to everyone, and it's a great day. So yeah.
How tough was it when he lost his battle last year? I mean, I think everyone knew that it was going to happen, but I mean, he kept it so low key. I think we were all hoping it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, 100%. I think deep down we all knew it was probably coming, but we didn't. Yeah, we kept thinking he'd get over it, but they'd find something, they'd find a new treatment or something. It was always hopeful. The family tried everything they could for him, and it was devastating. Yeah, it really was.
And such a young man too.
Yeah, 61's too young. I mean, it's still raw with me. I'm still emotional when I talk about it and think about it, and so it's still very tough. 6 months later, but he's still very well. He's missed by a lot of people.
A lot of his family members are here today too, Paul. So it's going to be a special day for everyone involved.
It is. I've seen a few of them already.
Yes, I did too.
Emotional day for them already. But again, they just want to see a great contest and that we can honour him in that way. Yeah.
I'm sure we will, Paul. Thanks so much for joining us. You're doing a great job. You're always so nice to us. You're great clients of ours at Gameface, and we really thank you for your cooperation and your support. I always get in touch with Adrian, and Adrian is never clandestine in the way he provides me with information about the team, and it's fantastic. So we've got a great working relationship. The great man's about to join us, so we've been looking for you. You're obviously having a couple of beers, mate. We'll get you to sit down, Batty Sharman. So, Paul, if you want to stay with us for a second, as we welcome the great man. Hello, Chris. Good to have you with us, mate.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's good to be here on such a great day. So, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, tell us about your relationship with Bully.
Oh, Bully, I only knew him for about 27 years, I think. And I wish I'd known him for twice that long. He was my best mate. The good thing about Bully, he didn't care how well you did or how good a footballer you were. He didn't judge anyone like that, judge them for what they were worth. And that's the sort of bloke he was. He was loyal, tough, and and a never say give up attitude. He was always a fighter, which was great. And it's great that we've put this together as a clubs, and now the great man Chris has shined down on us today with the weather. So not very often.
Perfect day, isn't it? I mean, what a day this is. I mean, normally we know it gets a bit windy here at Greek Beck, but not today. There is not a breeze anywhere, is there?
I was talking to Tippo before. I said, I don't reckon you remember too many days playing here when it wasn't windy or wet. I said,
rain
it's
usually
perfect.
comes across sideways here.
Yeah, so it's good. And it's going to be a good day, and everyone get inside. I've already seen quite a few of Chris's mates and family here, so it's good that they're getting behind it as well. So it's really good.
Would have been nice if he was alive that you could have honoured him, but as Paul told me, Paul worked for him and he said, I'll sack you, Smithy, if you put one of these on. No doubt you, with your persuasive skills, of which I don't think I've seen anyone better at in this league, Chris, you would have tried very hard to try and have it on last year as well.
Yes, we actually spoke about it a few years ago, and Bully would never borrow it. He said, no, don't be, that's the sort of bloke he was. It was never about him, never has been. And, but I'd give anything to have him here today and sitting in the box with us. So.
Do you think, Chris, and I asked Paul this question, that if the Bombers were in, as we know, it was Mornington and Nepean, if the Bombers were in the Mornington comp with Bonbeach and his love of Bonbeach and his loyalty towards Bonbeach, that he would have come across and coached your team and then become part of your administrative team?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a bit of a coup at the time because obviously he was the interleague coach and he was such a big figure in the local football. And, and he obviously brought a couple of blokes with him with Tippo and Aussie as well, came across. So, and a couple of other blokes, I've slipped my mind now. But, whether he'd done it if we were in the same comp at the time, probably not, but that was to our benefit that he did, and it wasn't just, as I said, it wasn't just the football that he brought over. He changed the culture. He changed, like the song, the shorts we wore, came in with an attitude of this is how it's going to happen, and and he led and people followed. So,
what was the song, and is this a better song?
What was the song? He used to be we're a pack of bastards are we come from Frankston, the assholes by the sea. We'd rather that was a lot of swearing in it. And,
too much? Probably too much.
Yes.
He didn't like it. So what did he change it to?
No, we're going to change that. So we've obviously changed it. We're from Bomberland, and
good,
which is a lot more acceptable these days. And I'm talking 95, and there wouldn't be too many of us that actually still remember that song. So it's good.
Was everyone happy about the change of song?
Oh, no, not really. No, we'd been around for a long time, and it was due for a change because it was a bit feral. So. It was good.
It's all about culture, isn't it? And I'm sure, Paul, that's what he was so good at developing a culture at a football club.
Well, he helped, as Batty said, with change there. He did the same at Bonbeach. He sort of helped build our club to where we are today as well.
Yeah.
Like we said, about off-field with the business lunch and things like that, but just even on-field, like we spoke about netball, getting it going at the All Club. With both clubs, he's been involved with that. And not just that, it's the one club bringing netball and football together. The Thursday night dinners, the fines, the things like that. Just bringing everyone together. That was his big drive. Yeah.
Well, he was the first one that had the boys picking up rubbish, and
we
still do it to this day. I know you do,
yeah.
and a lot of other clubs do now. And that was 95. He said, boys, and that was him. He said the committee are going to come down here tomorrow and pick up the rubbish. I'll tell you what, you got to do a warm down. They'll grab a garbage bag and get out. Take us 10 minutes. And he said you can say good day to all the supporters on your way around. Say thanks for coming to support. That's just the way he was, and that was, what's that, 27 years ago now.
And all clubs do it now,
yes,
don't they?
Yeah, well, that's it. And you get someone from another league, they go, what are your blokes doing? So they pick up rubbish. How do you get them to do that? Well, that's just what they do. That's part of the culture now that they get in there, win, lose or draw, they do it. So
when you first saw that, were you thinking, why?
Oh, no, well, I've been around the club long enough and been, as under Chris, myself, just I knew that was what it was. It was that's the buy-in that everyone does. We're all part of this together, and chip in together and work together and do what you got to do to help the club. That was his motto, really. Yeah.
And Batty, 5th against 6th, he would love a game like this today,
Oh,
wouldn't he?
yeah, love a game.
So, I mean, not only play, well, he probably wouldn't like playing for the Chris Ball Cup, as you said, but the fact that if you guys win, you replace Bonbeach. If Bonbeach win, they go a game and more percentage ahead of you. It just means so much today.
Yes, well, it does. I don't know who'd be barracking for.
Well,
that's
the other question. Paul reckons no doubt he'd be Bonbeach. He was closer to Bonbeach than he was to Bombers, but Batty, I reckon you have a different view on that, don't you?
Oh, yeah, he's a premiership president, so he's got...
Sounds like election promises we're making here.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? So
we've been listening to ScoMo and Elbow for too long.
I don't think he'd be too fussed. I think he wants a close game and a rip terror, which I think it's going to be. So I'm looking forward to that. So
is it good, just on a separate note, that you can just come to the footy and watch the footy? I know you helped Jace out a bit, and you were the one that got Jace in as president. You had that succession plan in place, which is the way to go. And I think Matt Lowe had the same thing with you, Paul, at Bonbeach. Yeah. But you don't have to do a great deal now. You just come and watch.
No, that's it. I just home games. I'll come and give him a bit of a hand out because I know what's got to be done. And no, he's great. It is quite enjoyable. So I realise there's a life after presidency and everything you've been at. You've been there for 30 odd years, and it's good, really good. And
are you realising there's no life at the moment, Paul?
A lot of time gets spent in football, yes.
But you love it, though, don't you?
I do love it. Yeah, I do love it. Do put a lot of time and effort into it. But, yeah, you get the rewards out of it. Just days like today are a big example of that. Just everyone buys into it and, contributes. And, it's just a great community atmosphere that'll be around today and getting around the Bull family. And that's from two clubs that will go to battle all day. But, we're all here for the one cause and to get behind the Bulls.
Did you think we'd get back to where we are now with footy after the 2 years that we've had?
Oh, it's still taken a while. I think some people, there's still catch-ups of weddings and things, and people are going on holidays they haven't been able to do for so long, and it's still going to take a while to get back to normal, I think. But, no, I think we're not going to miss any more games, I don't think. So that's the main thing. Yeah.
Well, boys, thanks so much for joining us. Big day. It's the Chris Ball Cup, which will be presented at the end of the game to the winning team, either the Bombers or Bonbeach. And we know what an indelible mark he left on both clubs. He left on the league as the longest-serving interleague coach. Chelsea would be thinking of him today. Devon Meadows as well, who he coached and spent time at. So not only has he been involved in these two clubs, he is an ornament to the league and a legend of the league. So Paul and Chris, thanks so much for joining us, and enjoy the footy today. It should be an absolute beauty.
Yep, thank you.
Chris Sharman and Paul Smith. Chris Sharman from the Bombers, Paul Smith from the Bonbeach Football Club, talking about Chris Ball, the late great Chris Ball. And the two teams today are playing for the Chris Ball Cup. We'll have Chris Holcomb join us shortly and talk about the big game. A lot on the line. 5th playing 6th. We'll go around the grounds a lot today for Mornington Timber and Decking. Big matches in 1st and 2nd Division. Get your game face on.
At 21 years of age, he accepted the senior coaching job at Devon Meadows. So, as a young bloke now, could you see yourself coaching a senior club? I couldn't, right? At 21, Chris Ball went out to Devon Meadows. In 1982, he came back to this club as a senior coach. So 82 and 83, he then stepped down, but he became the premiership captain in 84. So 1984 was the last time that this club won a premiership. Chris Ball was a premiership captain that year, and I think he won the club best and fairest. Bully had a knee reconstruction, and in 87 he took over the coaching job at Chelsea. They went back to back. 89 and 90, 1990 I think he came back to the club, Smithy. Come back to this club and coached them for another 3 or 4 years. From 91 till about 96 I think Bully was the interleague coach. So 94 he left Bonbeach. 95 this is where he got the Frankston Bombers connection. He took on the senior coaching role over at Frankston Bombers in 95 to 98. I think he left football for a little while and became a family and work commitment. But in 2009, he got back to the Frankston Bombers and he was our club president. I was a senior coach for 4 years under Chris Ball, and we were able to win a premiership under Bully. And then he gave that away. He came down here and he got onto the committee with you guys. He started the Businessman's Lunch. Bully was the one that organised that. He organised the netballers at the Frankston Bombers, got them involved with all the footballers. And now, like in all clubs now, football and netball are so important, and I wish it was around when we were a game of guys, because it would have been a lot more enjoyable. He came back here, his son Josh coached the reserves, he worked the bench with his son Josh, they had a wonderful relationship. Like Smithy said, he was a great family man. But the thing that Bully has left, he's left a legacy at both clubs. He really has. He's a premiership president at Frankston Bombers. He's helped grow that club to the club that it is today. He's helped grow this club. His legacy will last forever. Make the most of your opportunities, because come the end of your footy career, all I look back on is premiership and success. It's all good to come back to a past players reunion and all that, but it's even better to come back to a premiership reunion. So get behind Bully, and I'm pretty sure that he'll be super proud if you could bring that cup home, or that plaque home this week, especially because it's the first one. He was a wonderful man, great family, great club man, and more importantly, he was a great person.
Here we are in the Bonbeach Hall of Fame, and behind us we've got the last premiership photo. Dead centre is the club captain at the time, Chris Bull, and that's what we're here for, the Chris Bull Cup. Tonight we've got Paul Smith, the president of the Bonbeach Football Club, and he actually used to work with Bully, and he still does at the Mornington Peninsula Recycle Timber. That's it. Smithy, welcome aboard, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for coming along, Tony. Really appreciate you coming down tonight, and it was good to have you to come and give an outside perspective on what Chris did away from our club. Guys all know at Bonbeach what Chris did for us and his time here, but he's done a lot for the league and other clubs around the Mornington Peninsula, so it was good to have that story told, and just to let the others know that the legacy he's left for us.
Lovely tribute to Chris Bull. Good to hear from Chris Sharman and also Paul Smith, and well done to the Game Face team for what they did in putting that video together. And also Tony Blackford was down at Bonbeach. Chris Holcomb, as you say, good afternoon to you. And I was saying a bit earlier that I've got a cousin whose daughter's getting married at Sorrento today. She's hoping for good weather. She couldn't have picked a better day at the Sorrento Golf Club. How good's this? Brilliant.
Brilliant day, and I've never seen it like you were saying before. It's usually atrocious out here. The rain falls off the vandaliser, there's wind
it's
around
going sideways, the rain, isn't it?
It's a beautiful day. Lovely day to play footy, and I can't wait to see some of these matchups today. There's going to be, all over the field, you're going to have crucial matchups, but I think the biggest one's going to be through the midfield, mate. I think when we saw Bonbeach play Sorrento, their midfield, led by Gent, just chopped them up. But then they've had a couple of bad losses as well. And the same as Frankston Bombers midfield, like Harnett, Fox and Sutton, they lowered their colours to Dramana and got comprehensively smashed.
They did.
And then they come out the week after and all had about 30. So I think a lot of it's going to be whether or not, well, whose midfield gets on top early on. And I think a lot of that will have to do with the ruck contest too, with Pryor and Hertuku.
And there's no Hogan and there's no Bots. It's going to be Owen Hewlett. Might be Sam Gilbert for a bit, and it also might be Joe Fisher.
Yeah, so look, they're not small by any means.
No.
So they'll give a contest, but I really think that the game's going to be won or lost through that midfield. I can't wait to see. Also, McLean in the back line against Hertuku is going to be a really good matchup.
Yes, it is.
I think that's
Douglas on Grant.
Yeah, that one as well. That'll be a nice matchup.
Drake on Dennis Lane, or is Dennis Lane going to be a bit too quick for him at ground level?
Not sure. I think I've got the inside word that they're going to try something different early on. So we'll wait and see what
Mark
happens.
Slogan going to be the other one for me.
They'd usually try to free up Mark Slogan, get him as that third one up. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there.
We're going to have a moment's silence. Jason Smith and Paul Smith, the two presidents, will address the crowd here. Good crowd here at Greg Beck Reserve.
Great crowd, isn't it? A lot of old heads floating around.
Yes, it's terrific.
Blackers is in his element.
He is. Were you having trouble hearing Jason Smith? Moment silence. Lovely touch. Chris Ball, a legend of both football clubs.
Speaking of old heads, Ash Charles just wandering past us there, mate.
Yes.
He's got a young son playing for Bombers.
Mitch.
Also got one at Langwarrin at the moment.
That's right. Decided to come here and watch this game today. Yeah. Of the games in First Division, and we know that they are massive, we've got first against third, Mount Eliza and Dramana, second against fourth, YCW playing Sorrento, ninth against 10th, Rosebud and EDS, and seventh against eighth, Pines and Red Hill. Is this the most important?
I think it is to the fact that they didn't expect to be 3-3, these two teams.
Yeah.
So I know Bombers have got a cushy. I think they've got Rosebud and Edithvale in the next couple of weeks
that's
after
what
here.
Jared Grant told me, yeah.
So it's probably more important to Bonbeach. Bonbeach had dropped a couple that you think they would have won hands down. So expect them to be up and about. But that's been the issue with Bonbeach, whether or not they're switched on or not. It's going to be very interesting.
As Paul Smith said to me, they've had one bad quarter in their losses, and it's cost them dearly. First quarter against Pines, last quarter, when I think there was a reason they were down 3 rotations on the bench down to 1. There was also the other match where they were a bit disappointing as well against Mount Eliza.
Well, that's mental. That's mental to not be able to finish off games or have that quarter drop down. So that's the biggest challenge I see for Bonbeach at the moment, because they've definitely got the players on the park. But I've got a gut feeling Bombers will be up and about for this one today. I think that I think Bombers will find themselves in front at the end of the day.
Sean Corrigan's in the midfield. We know that he played as a defensive midfielder against Sorrento a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. So it looks like Harnett's gone to Armitage. They're going to play head-to-head straight off.
That'd be good to watch, won't it?
It is. And it looks like
Gilbert
Fox has gone to Gent.
Right.
So that'll be interesting, because Fox is more of an outside player. Genty's more of that inside.
So we're underway.
Oh.
Thanks to Jigsaw Finance, and Gilbert wins it down straight away, gets a hurried boot to ball, and it's on the bounce straight away with young Mitch Charles. Didn't take it cleanly, but they go into attack straight away to the peninsula end, and Gilbert wins it out of the ruck once more. He looks like he's on. Kick inside 50. Bouncing ball, and Melfi couldn't take it. McDonald does. Beats 1, beats 2, snaps around the body, and might have kicked goal of the day in the opening minutes.
There's the first surprise of the day. Sam Gilbert into the ruck, and the first 2 contests dragged it out and pushed it forward for him.
Oh, Shane McDonald, how good's that? Now, there's a long, long, long way to go, but if we see a better goal than that today, we'll be very, very lucky. Goal of the day for Anytime Fitness, Hulks.
He's a special unit, and they've taken him back to the square today, and they've got him one out, because I don't think Frankston Bombers have got that genuine matchup for him. So I think that's a great coaching move to find that out and push him back deep early. But interesting too with Sam Gilbert in the ruck. Those first 2 contests, I think you'll find Harry will be pushing a bit harder in the ruck this contest.
Chase Harris is playing on Shane McDonald out of the goal square. Winning it down is Pryor. Harnett now sockers it off the ground. Didn't get a lot of meterage on it. Working hard wood. And then Dids lays a good tackle. Front edge centre square. Not allowing the opposition through right to clear it.
Jackson Casey's matched up on Jared Grant.
Yeah, it's interesting. I thought Douglas might have got that. Armitage couldn't
there's
win the clearance,
Gilbert
but Gilbert does. He's been superb so far. Kicks inside 50, fisted away. The Bombers under pressure already. Going in hard, Kingsbury on the bottom of the pack. He was sort of reaching for that. He didn't obviously want to drag it in because he would have had opponents besetting on him, and it's thrown up on the edge of the centre square. Tapped down by Pryor, missed by Harnett once again. Coming the other way right, held up in a tackle, brought to ground in a physical fashion, and the umpire says, give it to me. Kingsbury laying a good tackle. Thrown up virtually on the wing in front of the social club rooms. Gilbert wins it down again. Armitage tries to burst his way through tackles. Good play by Harnett to lay a tackle. Fox sort of got it out, but the hand pass was ricocheted away. Taken by Kingsbury. Hard on the boundary. Left foot kick. Grubby ball towards Harnett. Harnett lost his footing. Good contest in front of our commentary position. Picked up by Wright. Wright taken down. And the umpire says, give it to me. In fact, it's the new player taken down. And that is Joel Day. Thrown up again. Tapped down towards the boundary. And it'll be thrown back into play. His brother Kai played really well in the under-19s earlier today for Bonbeach, but he was named in the team on Thursday night, the debutant. Harry Pryor and Gilbert. Gilbert taps to the front. May have been hung on to. He goes after it again. He's a beast, Sam Gilbert. He's got players hanging onto him left, right and centre. They just can't get a clean possession at the moment, the Bombers. One straight 6-0 on the Catapult Sports scoreboard.
Pressure's good from Bonbeach, isn't it?
Yeah, it's outstanding. Pryor, open-handed slap, and it goes over the boundary once more on the wing.
Yeah, their intent is fantastic. Reminds you of that Sereno game that we did a few weeks back.
Yeah.
They look up and about, so Frankston need to be aware of that and meet it head on.
3 minutes played. Boundary throw in, Pryor. Gilbert to the front. Armitage may have been held. Going in Harvard, not able to get a clean possession with Sutton. Loose ball. The umpire says there's going to be a free kick, a throw against Armitage, and it'll be taken by Wood. Looks to play on. Wright was trying then to bring him to ground with the ankle tap, but that's a lovely kick to Herituku. Marks in the left forward pocket. You can see Wright thrust his leg out, and Wood was able to jump over it. He was trying to trip him.
We got a good enough view of this goal, haven't we?
Well, if he can kick it.
He's the best contested mark in the comp by a mile.
Kicking to the southern end. He's kicked 13 goals this year. It's a good-looking kick, but it's heading left through for a behind. So the Bombers are on the board. One behind and one straight 6. Catapult Sports scoreboard. Casey back into play, short into the back pocket. He finds the reliable Douglas. Douglas kicks down the line towards the wing. Bailey just behind the wing for Bonbeach. Kicking towards the peninsula end. He dabs a little pass further afield again. And he finds young Sullivan taking the mark. Still not quite at the wing, Bonbeach, as they build with measuring passes. This works nicely to Gent. Gent, the eye spinning, looking to go outside. He's not sure what to do. A half-distance pass is all right, but Bailey had it knocked away. One by Fox for the Bombers. Nice inside ball to Harnett. Harnett kicks down the line, and a good mark taken by young Block. Handballs to Fox on the outside. Skids it inside 50. Bouncing ball. Can't take it Longham. Good to see him back playing senior footy. Then he lays a good tackle. Ball's on the up again. Corrigan goes back. He allows Casey through for the Sharks. And then a hurry kick comes in. Doesn't go very far. Sits for Fox again. Handballs to Longham. Longham off the edge of the boots. And he just misses to the right-hand side behind. In fact, it just shades the post. That is a wonderful story. He hasn't played footy for nearly 1,200 days. He's had bad knees. He's also torn his calf, and then he got one of the great doctors who looks after knee injuries, Professor Julian Feller, to help him out. And he's back playing footy, which is wonderful.
Good to see.
Kick out. Charles fists it down, and Gilbert's there. Can't grab it cleanly. Spills out to Wright. Wright will get a free kick for a shove in the back. Back edge centre square for Bonbeach. Michael Wright from Norwood in the Eastern Football League. Spreads it wide now. Taken by Corrigan on the left. He kicks it towards left half forward. Getting back. Good play by the Bombers through Ryan Marks Logan. Greeley's hand pass was in the wrong direction. Luckily, it's cleaned up by Chase Harris. He receives a hand pass, the old 1-2 from Greeley, and he kicks close to the boundary. And I think he might have kicked it out of bounds on the full he has. And Corrigan will inbound again for the Sharks, who lead by 4 points on the Catapult Sports scoreboard. He looks to handball now, he does. And on the left, it's kicked inside 50, fisted away again. Waiting at the drop. Good play by Bailey. Did well. Socket forward again. Across the face for a behind by Gent. And they're 3 behinds to 1 straight 6.
Pressure's fantastic at the moment from both sides, and you see the skill levels dropping because of it. It's really hard to hit an open target and get any real flow.
Amalfi, Murray involved in that exchange too going forward. Nice long ball finds Herituku marking in front of the scoreboard. Squares it up brilliantly now to Sutton. Sutton will look to take players on. He shakes the tackle, arches the back, delivers out wide now to Greeley. The ball Greeley at half forward, right half forward, kicks beautifully to Longham. He takes the mark on his chest, about a kick and a bit out from goal on a 35-degree angle. In short again, he's got a player floating in, and the mark was taken by Harnett.
That was all set up from Herituku's at that back flank, and he brought the ball back into the middle, hit Sutton, and it just opened up the game. Sutton again changed direction, and you see that flow through. So it was a fantastic kick from Herituku.
So Harnett, one of the stars in this side, slight angle, 35 metres out the man they call flex. It's across the face, sneaks through for a behind at the southern end there. At the moment, 2 behinds to 117. Our major sponsor today, Jigsaw Finance. Good contest early days. Casey's got Gilbert in short in the back pocket. He will honour that lead. The 208 game star for the Saints takes the mark in the back pocket. He's doing the ruck work at the moment. He'll go back to Casey across the face to the outer back pocket. The veteran, Jackson Casey, kicks down the line. Finds Bailey. Bailey's been prominent so far. Still inside defensive 50. Bo Bailey hoists it long. Long ball towards the wing. Pryor does well. 2-on-1 against. Corrigan was there. Harnett as well. And the two Bombers managed to spoil the contest and put it out of bounds at half forward for the Bombers, who trail by 4 points. Three behinds to 117.
You can see early on with Bonbeach, they're trying to hit those short targets. They don't want to kick the ball long because you got Harry down the line, Harry Pryor down the line. And as soon as they did, it was out and away they go.
He wins it out of the ruck, kicks long inside 50. Haratuku can't mark, spills to the back, and then a contest evolves. 25 out from goal. Douglas was there getting back, as he always does. It'll be thrown up once again. Tap down. Lachlan Stenning coming in for an injured Tom Hogan. Receiving on the outside, Bailey from Casey. Kicks down the line towards the wing. Fisher's up. He'll get a free kick for over the shoulder. In fact, a free kick going the other way.
He got in his back early, Pryor.
It'll go to Pryor.
Oh, no.
Pryor half-distance pass. He turns it over. An absolute horror. Sullivan intercepts it. Now they have a chance to kick towards half forward. Mark not taken by Murray, but he gets the hand pass out to Fisher. Kicks inside 50. A great kick. Bad turnover by the Bombers, and an excellent mark taken by Trent Dennis-Lane. Not much between him and Garrett, who was right with him. Might have been a tissue paper separating both of them on that lead, and Trent Dennis-Lane left of centre half forward. He's kicked 10 goals from 3 matches this year. In fact, he's kicked them in 2 of the 3 games he's played, looking to give his side a 10-point lead.
He doesn't miss, does he, Dan?
No, he never misses.
Never misses?
Never misses, although he did miss a few against Sorrento a few weeks ago. He doesn't miss on this occasion. Told you, he's on today. That was a few weeks ago. We start afresh, Hawks. We start afresh. 2-1-13 to 3 behinds on the Catapult Sports scoreboard.
All right, can I tell you about that? We'll talk about that kick that goes into the centre that opens up the game. That's what we call risk-reward.
Yep.
And you've got to hit that target. You see when Haratuku did it and it opened up and Frankston ended up with a shot. Same thing, Harry Pryor on that flank, tried to bring it in. It was more of a 50-50. They got the turnover. Bonbeach, straight down the guts, get a shot at goal. So it's a huge risk reward. A lot of coaches love it. Opens up the game, but you've got to hit that target.
10-point lead. Gilbert up. Pryor the tap. Missed by Sutton. Grabbed by Bailey. High up and under kick for the Sharks. Kicks to half forward at the drop. They've got numbers everywhere. Murray reads it superbly. Nice little kick to Armitage. Looked to handball on the outside. Elects to kick brilliantly to Dennis Lane. That is magnificent football by the Sharks. He turned his opponents inside out. He made them guess that he was going to handball out, and he managed to get back on his left and hit a target superbly. Dennis Lane going for his second goal in a minute to open up a handy buffer for the Sharks.
That was elite, wasn't it? That turn
brilliant.
and hit.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
13 plays 3. Trent Dennis-Lane, he never misses. Looking for his 12th goal of the season. Almost directly in front. He kicks
never misses.
Beautifully over the goal umpire's cap, and some work for Bo Must and Zach Horsley and the team to do at home here at Greg Beck Oval. They're 16 points down, and we are only 12 minutes almost into the opening quarter on the Catapult Sports scoreboard. 3-1-19 to 3 behinds.
They'll actually be disappointed, Frankston Bombers, because I thought they got on control of that game in the last 5 minutes, but they just didn't put it on the scoreboard. They had 3 reasonable shots at goal, but they just couldn't convert. And then obviously Bonbeach come down the other end and puts 2 straight through. So scoreboard pressure. It's an even contest though around the field.
Sure is. Throwing up again. Haratuku beats Gilbert. Armitage gets a hurried clearance to the wing on the outer side. Bailey leads in the race. Kingsbury's with him, trying to help Bailey out as Sullivan. Very close to the boundary. Bailey there, hands and knees. Receives a hand pass from Gilbert. Kicks inside 50, almost a good mark taken. The defence solid. McDonald was the one up. Couldn't quite hang on. Right with him. He normally wears 28, but wearing 25 is Harris. That is Chase Harris. And right in front of the cricket nets at half forward for Bonbeach. Fisher taps it down, emerging though Sutton. Gets the hand pass out now towards Dids. He kicks towards the centre of the ground. No mark taken. Loose ball, number of players involved. Spills out now towards McLean. That's Tom McLean of Bonbeach. And a free kick given to the bearded Michael Wright. Wright spreads it wide. Bailey getting a lot of it on his own at the moment. Not really manning up. The Bombers on Bo Bailey. Kicks towards left half forward. Good strong mark taken by Mitch Gent. He'll look to play on. He'll feed a hand pass to Gilbert. Gilbert's 45 metres out.
Oh.
He kicks long to full forward, but no one home. Heratuku, like a goalkeeper, takes a face-saving mark, and then he hits young Seth Harris in front of the netball courts. Seth Harris, the risk and reward kick, as you said, Hulks. Gee, it was a lot of hang time as he went from one back pocket to the other. He finds his brother Chase. That's a better kick.
That is a kick.
Down the ground, and away goes Dids. Gets it over the top. Taken by Kingsbury. Goes inside now to Matt Harris. Matt Harris front edge centre square. Beautiful kick. And Dids got into space. Wood involved as well. And he takes the mark at centre half forward.
That kick from the back pockets into that midfield just opened up the game. A 45-metre low pass into space. Opened them right up. That was a great play from Frankston.
Slightly right at centre half forward. Wood was more involved in that exchange up the ground. Dids had darted down inside 50.
They've got to get one on the board, though, Frankston.
Ditto Min Cantonio.
Oh, there he goes.
That is a good-looking effort by the youngster. He's a talented player, as is Flynn Wood, who was involved in a couple of those movements forward. And it's 139 to 3-1-19. It's taken the Bombers 14 minutes to get a goal, but they cut the lead to 10 points on the Catapult Sports scoreboard.
How much of a difference does it make, though, when you get... where you cross and you change lanes and then you open up the ground and then you have that kick that penetrates through and it just opens up the entire game. Bonbeach did it a couple of times. Frankston have done it a couple of times. It creates scoring opportunities. They're really struggling when the game's locked in and they have to chip around in general play.
They're both creative teams, aren't they?
They are.
Owen Hewlett to do the ruck work. Heratuku beats him. Sharked by Harnett, high ball. McLean taps it down. He had a lot of elephants around him, so he couldn't quite take the mark. And eventually there's a pack forming at his feet. Matt Harris was the one that crumbed, and he's accosted to the ground in a bruising tackle applied on him by Mitch Gent. Taking side centre square for the Bombers. Tap down again. Trying to get hold of it is Matt Harris. Had it taken from his grasp by Owen Hewlett. Gets a good kick in towards half forward. At the drop. One on this occasion by Hogan. Handball's out to Hewlett. Hewlett spreads it wide to left half forward. And mark taken by Bailey. Bailey kicks inside 50. Mark not taken. Here's McDonald now. It slips to him. Darting, toing and froing, dancing. Handballs to Gent at centre half forward. Steps around an opponent from 45 metres. Mitch Gent kicks one of the goals of the day. He got met late, but it didn't affect the kick. He just put the afterburners on and just got the dancing shoes going, Hulks. 4-1-25 to 139 on the Catapult Sports scoreboard.
He's all class, Mitch. And I think he loves when he sees the game face trailer rock up and the vision out. I think he lifts the occasion, but terrific play from Mitch Gent then.
Well, he's won a couple of best on grounds for the Rosebud Country Club, the Titleist golf balls already this year. He's been superb.
Yep. They're just
I think someone had him in his interleague team.
They're starting to get a bit loose through that midfield. It's starting to open up a little bit. Pressure's not quite there as it was in the first 10.
Spoke to your mate, Mr. McDonald, too, before the game.
Good fella.
Great fella. Heratuku gets it down to Harnett, who couldn't control it properly, but the Bombers will come up with a free kick as Murray was hassling him without the footy. And Harnett, half-distance pass, just finds the target. Matt Harris chips in and marks. Adjacent to the centre circles, feed to hand pass on the outside. Long ball inside 50 by Garrett. No mark taken. McLean, a nice fist. At the drop, Armitage taken in a tackle. Weaves out a quick hand pass, but finds the boundary. And it'll be thrown back into play.
Yeah,
I think it was Drake that kicked it inside 50 for the Bombers.
I think as this game's going to open up a fair bit, and I think we're going to see some fair scores. That midfield, they can't keep that pressure on flat out, so... the better players are going to get some space later on.
Heratuku the tap, but rode by Bailey, who's been very good at the Sharks, but that kick holds up and a good defensive mark taken by the Bombers at half back.
Mark Slogan, I think.
Ryan Mark Logan, very important player in this team. Kicks high inside 50 for the Bombers. Underneath it was Wood, couldn't take the mark. Fisted down by the Bonbeach defence. Big pack forming, 35 from the goal that they are defending at the southern end. It'll be thrown up again. 139. The Bombers, 4-1-25, Bonbeach for nearly 18 minutes into the opening quarter. Knocked down again. Harnett tried to get boot to ball while being tackled. Little hand pass comes out. Didn't quite hit the target for Bonbeach. Stenning was there. Loose ball, fisted on again. Getting towards the back of the pack. Good hand pass comes out there. Taken by Grant the square. He was pushed in the back, but he's kicked the goal. Great little threading hand pass close to the boundary by Dids. That is what I call reactionary footy when you are absolutely got the Bunsen burner all over you, Chris Holcomb. And Grant has kicked a terrific goal. Typical Jared Grant. 2-1-13 to 4-1-25 and puts him in as a candidate for goal of the day for Anytime Fitness.
He loves to Joe the Goose, Jared Grant, doesn't he? But that was a great handball by Dids. It was very surprising that they had that loose out because Frankston actually had one behind the ball and Bonbeach brought another extra up to the contest. So for them to win the ball out the front was pretty sloppy from Bonbeach around the contest then.
So a 2-goal buffer, in fact a 10-point buffer, 2-3-15 to 4-1-25. Haratuku the tap. Front edge centre square, rode by Armitage. He shakes the tackle and on the left will bang his team long inside 50. Fisher the field to beat. Big fist down at ground level, rode by Gilbert again, who's been very productive. Kicks out to McDonald, met late by Chase Harris. McDonald though recovers the best as he so often does. But Chase Harris comes across his bows and paddles to the boundary in front of the cricket nets. Inside attacking 50 for the Sharks on the outer side of the ground.
Jeez,
Lies
were skipped away on Dramana early, mate. 4 goals, 3-0.
Well, a good sight.
They are a very
boundary
good side.
throw-in from behind. Pryor wins it down. Harnett lays a tackle. Gilbert forces it out. Ball's at half-back. Can't get a clean possession. Haratuku. Ball jarred free again. Greeley's there. Had support from Drake. It's very close to the goal square. Chase Harris makes it better than it was. Charles has met late as he kicks it out of bounds on the full, but they managed to just get it out of dangerous territory across the goal face inside 50. Kick inside 50 from Bonbeach. Good play at ground level by Charles again. Tried to knock it out. It's a loose ball. Dids is under the pump. His handball doesn't find a target except the big body of the 7-time best and fairest Shane McDonald. And he's wrapped up and he holds it up at centre half forward for the Sharks.
Love changing direction out of the back line, but they've got to be surer than that. You can't just have that dribble handball go to no one out there.
Hope for the best.
Yeah, very dangerous.
Here's Chase Harris attacking the footy hard, having a good battle with McDonald. Mitch Charles on hands and knees to Kingsbury. A lot of tackling, and eventually it's won by the young fella Day. Handballs defensively to Lee. Lee kicks the Sharks inside 50 at the drop. Good play by Charles as it was tapped down to him. Got the hand pass out to Garrett, and he spreads the kick wide to Greeley. Greeley marking in the back pocket for the Bombers. Down by 10 points. Squares up the kick to Haratuku. Good mark. Handballs now towards Dids. He was running into trouble. Confronted. Got it to Harnett. He's run down from behind.
Good tackle.
Armitage, the two big balls in action, and Armitage wins the free kick. Nice little foot pass. He finds Sullivan taking the mark. Front edge centre square. Kicks his team to half forward. Gilbert all on his own. That's what happens when you think that you're in a good position. Your players are running forward, Hulks, and then it gets very hard to have to run back to set up again. And that's why Gilbert was on his Pat Malone at left half forward.
Yeah, Harnett didn't see him come out of there, and Armitage got the wheels on. He wound back the clock a little bit. I hadn't seen him cover the ground like that any time early on this season. That was a great effort.
Sam Gilbert has been outstanding. Third and the best and fairest in 2010 for the Saints. But he tops that ball very, very high. But it comes back. I thought he completely miskicked it.
That was
and
ugly.
It wasn't going to make the distance, but it cleared everyone in the goal square. What a goal that was.
That was disgusting.
The worst looking kick off the boot I've ever seen. It was one of a high floaters, a pipe floater.
It doesn't matter how it gets there, mate, as long as it gets there. It's another goal to Bonbeach, and that was from that Armitage tackle in the middle of the ground. So that's a really good example for all the young guys too, and the amount of pressure and how much the game means to a bloke like Armitage, for him to chase someone down like that. So it's going to give the other guys a lift around him.
22 minutes gone, 5-1-31 to 2-3-15. The Bombers winning the reserves and under-19s earlier today. Thrown up in the middle of the ground. Haratuku lost his footing as he tapped it down, and a pack forming at their feet. A dearth of umpires today, so we had a lot of club officials doing the reserves and under-19s and volunteers, which was fantastic. As it's pushed forward by Bonbeach. Little hand pass came out from Hogan. That's Reece Hogan to Gilbert. Kicks towards Gent, who tried to track it. It runs away from him, and Trent Dennis Lane. And boundary throw in front of the scoreboard on the outer side.
Haven't their big two started well, Gilbert and Armitage? Even Gilbert in the ruck, you think that was going to be a negative for Bonbeach today, and he's turned it into a real positive.
Such a big body, great sprint. Pryor and Hewlett. Hewlett, the number 2 ruckman today. Pryor throws it on the boot. High left footer for the Bombers. Bouncing ball, clean bowl, Stenning, who's trying to find his footing back in senior footy after breaking his nose and being forced to have surgery, and came in last night when Tom Hogan again tweaked his hammy, which has become a real issue for the Sharks this year. Thrown up in the middle of the ground. Bonbeach up by 16 points. Tapped down by Pryor. Number of players jump on in. Lee is there. He couldn't take it. Spills out to Pryor. Pryor kicks the Bombers. Wobble inside 50. Jared Grant, anything can happen here. Opposed to Douglas. They push and shove. Douglas gets goal side. Grant wants to get hold of it. Loses his footing. Tries to bring it out on the outside. Does pretty well. Puts his teammate under the pump who lost his footing. Half forward on the outer side. Both teams going pretty hard. Young Block was involved there. And there might be a free kick. No. Harris. Matt Harris was trying to get it from Grant as well. He was scrimping and scraping on the carpet. Fisted down by Haratuku. Ball's at half forward. Cleared by Ben McLean of Bonbeach. He throws it on the boot. The brother of Hayden, who plays at the Swans. It goes out of bounds on the full. And it'll be kicked back into play by Dale Sutton of the Bombers. They trail by 16 points. 24 gone. Thanks to Jigsaw Finance, our naming rights sponsor today. Centering ball, great mark, Kingsbury. Third in line, beautiful kick. Candidate for mark of the day for Great Syndicates Australia. It was a beautiful ball and had Kingsbury's name written all over it if he was able to become the meat in the sandwich and take a good mark out in front, which he did. Slightly right of centre half forward here, Hulks. Can he kick it?
I'll go now. King is not the longest kick in the world, but it is a beautiful day, Dan, so anything can happen. But
Not a cloud in the sky. He goes a bit right. But that's
an
an outstanding kick by Kingsbury.
That is a cracker.
And they stay in touch again. They've got to try and see if they can break it to less than a goal. 2 goals in a row is something they're yet to achieve yet, the Bombers. Still a long way to go. 25 gone in the opening quarter. On the Catapult Sports scoreboard, it's 3-3-21 to 5-1-31. And Catapult Sports creating technology to help athletes and teams perform to their true potential.
He's kicked that right on 50. And like I said, he's not the longest kick, Kinger, so they'll take that. They missed a couple of easy ones, Frankston Bombers, this quarter. So to jag one like that, to get the confidence up.
Kicked a hard one.
Jeez,
Missed the easy ones.
Yeah.
Thrown up in the middle of the ground again. Hewlett. Pryor stands his ground and beats him comfortably. Takes the clearance. Wobbles inside 50. Grant in the middle. Oh! He's taken a great mark. He just got on the right side. And as we know, he's not the heaviest player that's played the game, but he's so good at using his body, isn't he?
That's a nice way to put it, mate. The old Spindles. He's not the heaviest man ever to play football.
But did you see he got on goal side? He just used his body.
He's clever. Very clever, mate.
That's one of the favourites for mark of the day for Great Syndicates Australia. This for his second, 35 metres out, and Jared Grant, his issue is sometimes he sets shots and he misses to the left-hand side. Needed to kick at margin 9 points.
He's not like Trenton Ennisland, mate. He does miss occasionally.
I think it's 5-1-31, not 6-1-37. We'll check that to 3-4-22. I've got it as 9 points. McLean back into play. Finds Corrigan. Corrigan, daisy cutting kick. Had a couple of players ready to mark, and a player in front heard the voice of Owen Hewlett from behind, and he acknowledged that wonderful lead marks on his chest at half-back, outside defensive 50. Goes down the line to Gilbert, who's on best on ground pace at the moment for the Titleist golf balls from the Rosebud Country Club.
Oh, yuck.
In fact, it was Douglas that took that mark, and he kicks into the man on the mark. Spills back now to Tyson Murray.
Terrible.
That's a high hospital kick.
That is
Turned
terrible.
over in the middle of the ground to Khan Heratuku. He'll go bang. Long to Grant. Grant is out of position, and he's pulled his opponent down in a contest.
That's very
and given
clever.
away a free kick. Jackson, Casey and Grant were wrestling, and Casey wins the free kick just outside the goal square.
That was very clever from Casey.
It was very
He was out
clever.
of position then and managed to win the free kick. Very clever.
He spreads it wide to McLean.
They can't go long here at the moment, Bonbeach.
McLean
They're too
going
short
down the line again. Haratuku's there.
See?
Pryor as well. Haratuku.
That's a mark.
Well, he paid the mark. It was punched away late by Hewlett. He had his hands all over that. 9 point lead, close to quarter time. Haratuku taking a lot of marks so far. And he's got a player in short. He'll take the mark. And this is Avery. Haven't seen much of him yet. He'll switch to the outer side of the ground. He's got a player on his own, allows the ball to bounce. It's Young Block. Gets the hand pass off to Drake. Drake kicks into the pocket. That's a good kick. Good meterage on that. And a mark taken at right half forward. On a fairly acute angle, about a 35 to 40 degree angle. And this to cut the margin to 3 points to give them some real momentum. The Bombers close to quarter time.
Every time Bonbeach have gone long down the line, they've turned it over.
Important kick on the quarter time siren. 45 metres out.
Nah.
The kick doesn't quite have the carry, and it's fisted away. The kick came from Dids, took a good mark, and he's been pretty prominent so far, one of the young players in this Bombers side. So quarter time on the Catapult Sports scoreboard. A major sponsor today, Jigsaw Finance. Experience the difference with the right home loan, and it is 5-1-31 Bonbeach. 2 goals to Dennis Lane. Frankston 3-4-22. Jared Grant has kicked a goal so far, a 9-point lead. Chris Holcomb, how'd you see it?
Yeah, I'm going to go and have a listen to what Bo says, but I think the game plan for Frankston going forward, and I think it's pretty clear that Bonbeach want to hit short all the time, because as soon as they go long, you got Hiratuku, you got Pride in the line, and they turn it over every time. So their thing is just going to be hit up. But Frankston, if they can put pressure on that short up kick and have that intense pressure short and make him kick down the line, the game will open up for Frankston. But at the moment, Bonbeach are doing a really good job of winning the ball at the contest and getting it forward. I think we said at the start of the game that's where it was going to be won and lost through that midfield. And I think Armitage and Gilbert, especially, and Gent are on top in that midfield battle. So they're winning a lot of that contested footy. But yeah, Bombers, when they get the ball in their hand and they change direction, they look dangerous. It's just whether or not that they can... maintain that pressure on the short stuff.
Let's go around the grounds. Mornington Timber and Decking. It was great being down there with John and the team on Wednesday night for the footy shows.
Yeah.
They've got the highest standards in both quality and service. Tell us what's going on.
Right, Div 2, we got Mornington and Chelsea. 5-1-31 Mornington to 0-1 Point.
I tipped this.
Mornington over Chelsea. Yep. Crib Point, 4 goals straight to Tyab, 2 goals 6, 18. Somerville 2-3-15, Devon Meadows 2-3-15, so tight one there. Again, Seaford 3-4-22, Coringal 4-3-27, Hastings and Pearcedale 1-1-7 apiece. And Rye started off well against Langy, 4-3-27, Langy 5-5-35, so just in front there.
Wouldn't that be a beautiful venue to watch football at today?
It certainly
at the Rye
would.
Recreation Reserve.
And here we go, the big ones in Division 1.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Edithvale 2-7-19 out of the blocks against Rosebud, 2 points.
Can they sustain it though?
Frankston YCW 4-6-30 against Sorrento 3-4-22. A lot of scoring shots for a first quarter, 10 to YC. No score from the Pines Red Hill game. And Mount Eliza, 4-4-28 to Dramana, 2 goals straight, 12.
So some wonderful football on in round 7 of the MPNFL in first and second division. It is quarter time. We'll take a break thanks to Jigsaw Finance and Bonbeach 5-1-31. Frankston Bombers 3-4-22. Get your game face on.
Hi, I'm David from Jigsaw Finance. If you're looking to purchase a home or an investment property or even refinance your home loan, at Jigsaw Finance we can put the pieces together to make it work for you.
Have you had your team photos done yet? Well, Frankie Photography is the only way to go. Great photos, great designs. Find out how your club can raise money by selling photos online on your very own shop. Check out our website for other great offers such as live premiership posters, end of season awards, tributes and milestones, and gift vouchers are also available.
In life,
you have to play by the rules. Fit in.
don't be too thin.
Or too bulky.
You have to be perfect.
Try harder. Go faster.
Know your limits.
Calm down.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Wearing that.
Eating that.
Suck it up. Suck it in.
Boys don't cry.
Girls don't fight.
You can't do that.
You watch this.
There's no right way.
No wrong way.
Only your way.
Anybody.
Anytime.
Welcome back to Greg Beck Oval. Big crowd here for the Chris Bull Cup, the inaugural Chris Bull Cup. One of the greats of Mornington Peninsula football, involved heavily with both clubs and coached Bonbeach to their last premiership before the MPNFL started in 1984, and was also a premiership president at the Bombers Football Club as well. So he's got a huge involvement with both teams over the years, and a good game of footy. Very proud, Chris Holcomb, of what was seen in the first quarter. 9-point lead to Bonbeach, and you went and had a listen to Bo Muston at quarter time.
Yeah, I did. He was pretty happy with the way they were going. He wanted them to be a little bit tighter through the midfield. He wanted Harry's prize effort to be a bit harder at Sam Gill, but he thinks that they'll have the legs going into the last quarter if they can stick fat through this middle section. They think they've got the legs to be able to get it over the line.
Pryor down to Harnett, now to Sutton. Good little hand pass, Kingsbury. Pryor kept running on the left, high kick inside 50. That's a mark, is it?
It certainly is.
Jared Grant is claiming there's a mark down there.
Hiratuku, the best
big
contested mark in the comp.
Did very, very well under pressure. There was a big crowd forming around him, but we know that he's a big, big man with big, big jutes. And considering there was enormous pressure he had to contend and deal with then, he's in contention for mine for mark of the day for Great Syndicates Australia. 25 metres out to cut the lead to 3 points. And big Khan Hiratuku kicks the goal. Well done. 4-4, 28 to 5-1, 31.
Yeah, we talked about Hiratuku being the best contested mark in the comp, and he just showed that. I think he had 3 of them hanging off him at that stage. A lot better through the midfield than Harry Pryor. They said that at quarter time that Harry's, although he should have been doing a lot better against Sam Gill, but not letting him take the ball out of the ruck, and his effort in that first contest was fantastic.
And I thought Harnett, he had 3 hanging off him. He didn't get it too far from the centre square, but he just threw it on the boot. I mean, that's just winning a clearance, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's where Bonbeach were on top early. They were on top with Armitage and Gent and Gilbert getting that ball through the middle.
Throwing up again.
Oh,
Tapped down by Pryor. Brilliant. Defensively to Harnett. High ball towards half forward. Up they go. McLean was in the middle. Tom McLean. He wins the footy at ground level. Got the hand pass out to Murray. Got the hand pass now on the left to Armitage. He's offloaded. Kicks down the ground. And Charles, a nice ball from behind against his opposite 29, Sullivan. Charles of the Bombers puts it out of bounds. Boundary throw in front of our commentary position.
How good was that hit out from Pryor?
Oh, outstanding. Heard the voice of Harnett. Probably couldn't see him unless he had eyes in the back of his head, like my mother. Boundary throw-in. Oh. Gilbert, 2 hands it towards the front. Armitage is there, and he allows the youngster Lee to take it. He swings around on the right, but he kicks blindly. Ryan Marks Logan didn't take the mark. Sullivan was there, but he's clamoured into him. Oh, not sure that was the best effort from Ryan Marks Logan in his career. Then again, I've done that every time. I've got someone behind me, so I can't talk. In short now to Wood. Wood on the left.
Oh,
it's a terrible-looking kick. He was looking to go very square, but didn't quite get there. Drake in the end feeds a hand pass over the top. He got it to Seth Harris, who that kick originally from Wood was intended for. Now he goes back to half-back to Chase Harris. That's a great hit to Harnett. Back edge centre square. Harnett's got to play a wide Charles, but he was met late and it misses him and it goes out of bounds. Opportunity lost for the Bombers. He just got met late. And Harnett's saying, what about a little bit of support? Tell me that I'm hot.
Mate,
And I'll go back.
That was a dribble kick, and he's turned around and tried to talk about another incident.
Pryor, Gilbert lost control of it, taken in a tackle, should have nearly been holding the ball. Armitage just burst his way through on the left, kicks into space. Dennis Lane's the target. He'll try and beat one. He'll try and beat two. Great tackling, Garrett. He got a boot to ball, and the officiating umpire didn't give the decision. It was a non-officiating umpire, which in the end was the right decision. So Garrett gets the free kick on the left, and he turns it over with an absolute Barry Crocker. Turned over by Hewlett. He kicks it in short now. In fact, Corrigan it was, and he finds Gent. Gent's in short, and he has Sullivan marking front edge centre square. Sullivan with a half-distance pass. McDonald, finger tipper, beats his opponent in Drake. Handballs to Armitage. Armitage now to Peckett. Peckett snaps around the body, and Sonny goes wide, out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, missed everything, didn't he?
What a great mark that was, because Drake was right with him. It was a finger tipper special.
Yeah, there's a few kicks going toward the centre there that are getting a bit sloppy at this stage. And we've talked about it. If you miss that kick, it just opens you up the other way.
It does. 28-31. Bombers down by 3.
Well, that's a good kick.
Kick back into play. It's a nice kick to half back. Marks Logan to Drake. Drake now. Front edge centre square. Kicks into the centre of the ground. Bouncing ball. Does it sit for Dids? No, it doesn't. Had it socket away, but McLean came the other way to blanket it. Tom McLean goes in again. Battling hard. Avery pretty tough around the footy, as is Harnett. The umpire saying ball. Absolutely not. Gilbert thought he'd taken it away, and it was going to be advantage. He can't believe it. He was off to the races, Big Sammy. And it'll be thrown up in front of our commentary position. 3-point lead to Bonbeach. Gilbert gets into Pryor's back, and Pryor will take the free kick. He's saying, what about shepherding? I don't think so. H is just a bigger man, isn't he? And Gilbert was well behind him. On the left, he kicks inside 50. Haratuku! You'll be guilty! Takes one of the marks of the day for Gross Syndicates Australia. Not as good as Jez's, but not bad. Right of centre half forward.
He's a weapon, isn't he? There's not many, there's not centre half forwards around the comp that can do that and have that focus going forward.
Here's Haratuku veering in on the left. It's coming back, but then it's veering away, not quite to the goal square. Number of players push and shove. It's been socked from the goal square. It was kept alive, and they've kicked another one, and they're in front. Great goal to the Bombers. Very important goal. And Khan Haratuku comes up and says, well done.
Mate, that's what Bonbeach are missing at the moment. That's why they can't.
And that's young Block, who's kicked the goal in his second game, leading goal kicker in the under-19s last year.
Well, that's what they need Fisher to do, Bonbeach, because they haven't got a target down the line at the moment. They've got no confidence to go long. Fisher's a good mark. He's a big unit. He can get around the park, but they're just not confident of kicking to him like Frankston are to Haratuku.
You just had to get it in and keep it within that goal square, and it was socked through by young Block. Gilbert wins it down. Harnett's there again. Gent misses it. Support by Corrigan. Throws it on the boot. Kicks the Sharks to half forward. Good spoil on Fisher by Drake, but well rode by Sullivan. Kicks inside 50. Footed away, though, by Garrett. He got in front. He volleyed it out of bounds. He attacked it hard, and it'll be thrown back into play inside, attacking 50 on the outer side.
Drake's doing a fantastic job on Fisher at the moment, isn't he?
Certainly is. He's an excellent defender, isn't he? He probably doesn't get enough credit for how good he is, Sam Drake. Boundary throw in Pryor. Taps it, and then Sutton punches it on. Bailey's in the way. Just gets boot to ball under pressure from Fox. He shoved him into the fence. Kicks inside 50. Good spoil by Marks. Great play close to the boundary by Jed as he stepped around a couple of opponents and caught one high. He's looking for a squaring ball. He'll kick off the edge of the boot for the banana. But a great mark, Drake. Last line of defence right beside the behind line at the southern end. In short, and he finds Seth Harris taking the mark in the back pocket. The Bombers 5-4-34. Bonbeach haven't scored this quarter. 5-1-31. Catapult Sports scoreboard.
Harry Pryor.
Young Seth Harris down the line again. Harry Pryor might be his target. Number of players go up and waiting down. The mark is taken by Gilbert. He was fifth in line, the accidental marker. Attacking side of the wing. Plays on quickly. Wobbly ball. Trent Dennis-Lane has 2 to beat. Drake again fists it down at the front. Sutton collects. Brought down at a tackle. Didn't get boot to ball. Holding the ball. Great forward pressure by the Sharks. And Jack Sullivan will be the recipient. A chance to put his team back in front.
You have to be a bit smarter than that, and Suts. I mean, he's a really good player, but he's under the pump here in the back. He's just got to get on the boot and get it out of there. He can't be too fancy.
Don't labour.
He's been quite a start, this one, Suts.
Yeah.
Struggling to get into the game.
One of the small forwards, Jack Sullivan, 40 metres out directly in front to give his team the lead. That at one stage was nearly 3 goals in the first quarter. He kicks the goal. The Sharks back in front. Good contest here at Greenbeck Oval for the Chris Ball Cup. 8 minutes played second quarter. Thanks to Jigsaw Finance on the Catapult Sports scoreboard. The Sharks are 6-1-37. The Bombers are 5-4-34.
Coaches love those goals, mate, and it's something that's highlighted in the tape every Monday or Tuesday when you do your review. That forward line pressure. So you got young kids in there who are quick. That's what you ask from them. Just pressure and hard attack on the ball.
Excellent game of footy, isn't it?
Oh, it's cracking.
Thrown up in the middle. Won by Haratuku, missed by Harnett. And he was offloaded, Harnett, by Gent. And Harnett with the free kick. No one's on the mark, so he's got free rein to drive it long. Inside 50, looking for someone to mark. No mark taken, close to the boundary. And it's run over the line by the Sharks' defence. Grant was making an effort to try and get there, couldn't. And near the netball court inside attacking 50 at the Peninsula or Forest end of the ground here at Greenbeck Reserve, for want of a better expression. 3-point lead to the Sharks. 2-1 for the Bombers. Haratuku taps to the front. Collected though by Gent. Does a nice piece of crumbing. Kicks the Sharks high to Fisher. Drake's with him. Drake may have been pushed out of the contest. Drops to McDonald.
Tackle.
Good tackling laid by
Charles.
one of the youngest players out there, Charles. Shane McDonald's a strong, tough man, and that was a great piece of tackling to hold it to him, and he goes nowhere in a hurry. Attacking side centre square for the Bombers. Gilbert is beaten. Fox overruns it. McDonald's there. Feeds a hand pass on the outside. Doesn't sit for the young fellow in Day. And he couldn't, in his first game, couldn't quite get hold of it. And it's a boundary throw in. Day of Bonbeach. His younger brother Kai showed a bit of talent today for Bonbeach in their big loss in the under-19s. First game today for Joel Day. Thrown back into play, and Haratuku knocks to the front of the pack. May have been tagged by Gilbert. He paddles it out cleverly, throwing it on the boot. Kingsbury, that's unscientific. Grant is in front. Nearly takes the mark. Allows it to slip for block. Block for his second goal. Puts the Bombers back in front. Jared Grant, you're a genius. The way he managed to just paddle that ball in front and have an opponent all over him like your cheap suit, Chris Holton, was sensational play.
That's a bit harsh. I have got a lot of cheap suits, though. But, yeah, Spindleshanks, it's funny. Spindleshanks, he doesn't get a heap of possessions, but what he does, it becomes really effective. He set up a goal, he'll invent a goal, or he'll kick one himself. So, not getting that much of it, but, yeah, it was a fantastic effort then. It's good to see a young fella kick another one.
It's 2 for him. His second game, as I said, he led the under-19 goal kicking last year. And 3-1. They're going pretty well here, the Bombers. They'll be happy with this. 11 minutes gone in the second quarter. They're certainly on, but the Sharks are on too, so it's a wonderful game. Gilbert wins it down. Intercepted, though, by Fox. Got it to Harnett. Harnett tumbles it inside 50. Right with the flight. Couldn't take the mark. Fisted down again. Going hard on the outside is Lime. Can't quite insert himself in the game, and it's socket out of bounds on the full by the Sharks. And a free kick. And if anyone can kick them from here, Spindleshanks can.
He was quick over to that one, wasn't he?
He was. How quick was he?
Unbelievable.
Spoke to the great man before the match. It's good to see him. I love him.
That's not a hard ball get, is it?
It's not. I love him. I just reckon he's wonderful. He's just one of the great units in this competition, isn't he? Hard on the boundary. Not much daylight, but unfortunately for him, he just was too skinny with the shot at goal to behind. His set shots do let him down a bit. 6'5", 41 to 6'1", 37. But we know with Jared Grant, he's capable of the impossible.
He certainly is. He's just like a bit of icing for the Bombers team. And Haratuku does some hard work down there. And Jared, when he pops up, it's just like a little icing on the cake. But they've started to get on top through the midfield, Bombers, this quarter.
The Casey-Grant matchup is just one to keep a close eye on, isn't it? I mean, they're all over each other and tough as nails, and it's terrific. So Casey will inbound. Waterston makes a short lead for him. And in the end, he goes a bit deeper. Harnett comes in, fists away from the intended target of Stenning. It slips to Stenning, got tackle, got the hand pass out to Gent, got the hand pass to McLean, bursts out of tackles, and then runs out of room and puts the left foot over the boundary in front of the Social Club rooms, out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, can feel the momentum started to shift and then win a lot more of that contest.
Avery with the free kick, delivers in towards the pocket. Grant can't take the mark at the back. It was dropped by Longham. He's still just trying to find his way back at senior footy after not playing for almost 4 years. And it is a great story that he's made the comeback. Played his 100th game last week after sitting on 99 for a long period of time. Inside attacking 50, 40 metres around. Boundary throw-in.
On the ball.
Going in hard. Held in the contest. Was Gilbert. Spills out. Still inside attacking 50 for the Bombers. Number of players hunting the footy around the contest. It'll be thrown up again. On the Catapult Sports scoreboard, 6-5-41 to 6-1-37. The Bombers by 4 points. Another boundary throw-in from the tap down. Getting a lot of the footy at the moment is Harnett. Corrigan playing on him, and I think that's the right move. Good tap to the back by Herituku, but won by the Sharks, and McDonald receives it on the outside. High up and under kick. Bailey there running with the flight, couldn't take the mark, but slips the tackle. Placed on him by Wood. It lands luckily with Fisher, and he takes the mark at centre half forward. Fisher dabs in short. Dennis Lane, did he take that mark? He did. Was that up? Not sure it was up, but the umpires claimed it.
I saw it. There was
just the pace off the kick.
There was two names we haven't called all day that need to lift for Bonbeach, Bailey and Fisher.
Well, Bailey was good in the first quarter, but has gone out of the game since then.
Yep. But, yeah, they linked up well then and got a shot on goal. Frankston seemed to have really dominated this quarter, but Bonbeach just keep hanging around, don't they?
Well, Trent Dennis Lane never misses. Going for his third. He's on a bit of an angle. The other two are directly in front. He'll kick from 52 on about a 25 to 30 degree angle for his 13th goal this year. Played 29 league games at the Swans and the Saints. Kicked the winning goal in the 2010 elimination final against the Blues. Trent Dennis Lane's kick is not bad, but he's missed.
Jesus.
6-2-38 to 6-5-41.
If I wasn't here, I wouldn't believe it. If I wasn't here, I wouldn't believe that he missed.
Thank you, Holtz. Creating technology to help athletes and
kick.
teams. Big kick back into play. Herituku. That's nearly mark of the day. Not paid. Got numbers at ground level. One out by McLean. That's Ben to Gent. Stenning just lacking a bit of confidence. Couldn't take it cleanly. Turned over by the Bombers. Hurried kick inside 50. Bouncing ball. Fox couldn't get it. Coming the other way. Good defensive play by Waterston, but he turns it over straight away and Sutton takes it and he brings it back inside again to the blue-booted Herituku, who's having a big day. Herituku goes wide. Mark not taken. Good contest provided, by Harris. And eventually Bonbeach kick to the wing. Missed by the young fella Day. Getting in the road. Chipping a kick is Charles. Has it turned over by Reece Hogan. Brought down from behind. It slips to Peckett. Handballs on the inside to young Day. Lowers the eyes to Dennis Lane. And his first possession in senior footy. Well done, son. Finds Dennis Lane. He's got a player out in his own. Takes the mark. McDonald into an open goal. And Bonbeach back in front. Good footy, Sharks.
Wasn't that a change of fortune? You had that kick, sloppy kick, go high in the middle of the ground. Charles did everything right and punched the ball out, gathered it, and was running forward, but then skewed the kick. So they were out of position going over the back. It was really clean play from Bonbeach going forward. The young kids teamed up well, and Macca with a Joe the Goose over the top. Fantastic play. It's a good game, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Pryor back into the middle now and Herituku back forward. Harnett's had his rest.
Fourth change of lead in this quarter. 44 plays 41. Out of the centre goes Pryor. He's on the left. He bangs it long. Inside 50, Herituku! He's putting on a clinic down there and he will, I think, get that mark of the day. He's taken so many good ones so far for Great Syndicates Australia, and that was an outstanding mark.
He's a weapon that not many people have got, do they?
No,
just
he's
a target.
huge, isn't he?
Draws two or three people, and most of the time he clunks, and if he doesn't, it's just going to bring it to his feet.
And with Pryor there, able to do the ruck work. He can spend so much time down in that forward line.
Yep.
Slightly right of centre half forward. On the left, kicks
goal.
straight through the 40 and puts the Bombers back in front. The 5th lead change, 18 gone in the second quarter, and it is now 7-5-47 to 7-2-44. And their major sponsor today, Jigsaw Finance.
That's a ring-a-ding game.
Second goal to Herituku.
Hey, just a quick little score check for you, Dan.
For Mornington Timber and Decking, yes,
A
Hobbs.
few little interesting ones. Frankston YC kicked away from Sweno, 6-9-45 to 3-5-23. That can't be right, that score, I wouldn't have thought.
Well, Pines 36, Red Hill North.
Yeah, I don't know if that's right. We'll work that on that. And Mount Eliza 6-9-45, Dramana 3-2-20. Early days.
It is early days.
It is early days.
I wonder how Billy Gertz is going, remembering that we know Max Mornay's a good ruckman, but Billy's the best in the comp. But we think Mount Eliza's got a bit more depth, don't we?
We do indeed.
But this is a great game, the Chris Bull Cup. A lot riding on the line here for both teams. Should the Bombers win, they go, despite having a more inferior percentage of over 20, they'll go back in the top 5 tonight. Tapped down by Pryor again. Harnett just throws it on the boot, wrenches it away from opposition, kicks the half forward at the drop. Kingsbury roves well, bouncing ball inside 50, dirty footy, Grant off the ground. Oh, Grant off the ground. Goal of the day. How did he do that?
Spindles.
That ball was bobbling. It came in his direction. He just thrust the boot at it. He's given his team a 9-point lead. Jared Grant, you're a genius. 8-5-53 to 7-2-44, making something out of nothing.
We talked about it before. He doesn't need much, does he, mate? He doesn't. He just pops up at weird times in weird situations and makes things happen. It's a great knack to have. Not many people have got that ability, but Spindle sure does.
Oh,
and that was a very, very good goal.
That's our goal of the day for Anytime Fitness with over 500 plus gyms around Australia. Oh, how good was it?
Ugh.
I mean, I don't think anyone else could have probably done that, except he can.
Maybe McDonald up the other end.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, absolutely. Pryor going in with Fisher, wins it again, gets the hand pass out. High ball, Dids has been good. Kicks to half forward. They're winning a lot of the centre clearances now. Kingsbury makes a good contest, brings it to ground. Jet coming the other way, taking on a tackle as he won the drop, but was held up. He's got a great body, Mitch Jen, and ability to get the hands free despite being claimed. Taking side centre square. Tap down again. Greeley coming the other way. Good hand pass comes out from Bonbeach towards the boundary line. Waterston's there. Taken in a tackle. He's dumped to ground and going nowhere in a hurry. And then Harnett receives a bit of pushing and shoving from one of the hardest men in the comp in Jackson Casey. I saw him just sitting there holding the ball in the runes before and said, "What are you thinking about?" "My role, mate, my role." Boundary throw-in at half forward. That's what he said. Pryor taps it down. Missed by Harnett. Here's McDonald, the great man, on the left. Kicks towards the wing. He was put down. And a mark taken by the Bombers. Mark Slogan. But down the ground, Bailey will take it. And Shane McDonald gets up. Shaken and stirred, but tough as nails. Bailey kicks towards Dennis Lane. Won't get that far. Big, strong mark. Last line of defence taken by Garrett, who's been solid. His old man, games record holder here. Kicks across the face. Marked in the outer back pocket by Seth Harris. He and brother Chase have become important members of this back line. Looks to play on. No. It's a wobbly ball. McDonald's there. He chanced his arm, but when Shane McDonald's there and you've got an opponent bearing down, you've got to get the kick right, and it never looked right off the boot. McDonald left of centre half forward here.
Bit off more than he could chew then.
He sure did.
I think there's a slight wind going down that bottom end for Frankston Bombers, so Macca might struggle with the distance here, I reckon.
They've only kicked 2 goals. The Bombers have kicked 5. 53 to 44. Yeah. McDonald will go in short. Oh, he's turned it over. A rare error. The great ones do make mistakes occasionally, and Chase Harris has filled the hole. Takes a good intercept mark. 30 from the goal. They're defending the Bombers. He'll kick it high towards the boundary. Gilbert's up. Can't take the mark. Yes, he can on the second grab. That's a good mark by Gilbert. In contention for Grey City gets Australia mark of the day. Look at Spindles. He doesn't get out of first gear, does he? Here's Gilbert on the left. Bangs a long kick inside 50. Charles is there. From behind Pryor. Big fist. Good play by Greeley on hands and knees. Lost it, regained it. Taken in a Tom McLean tackle. Not going anywhere as he was looking to rake it in, roving at the front. and couldn't hold it cleanly. Attacking side centre square for Bonbeach. They trail by 9 points. Tap down road by Kingsbury. He races away from the contest. Kicks inside 50. Bouncing ball. Picked up now by Wishart. Wishart does well to roll it along the ground and kick a terrific goal. He got in the right position, and Jared Grant's there and gives him a high five.
A low five, that one
Yeah,
was.
low five, you're right. Down low, up high, down low. He's a ripper. And Wishart kicks a terrific goal. He got in the right position, got out the back, and it's 6 goals to 2. And Bonbeach have got some work to do, Chris Holcomb.
Dangerous signs here. But that was what Bo emphasised at quarter time, and he didn't think it'd probably come into fruition that quick. He wanted to be more defensive through the midfield, which they've done. And they said they've got superior fitness and reckon that they were going to blow up. So the midfield looks like it's can't go with Frankston at the moment.
Very open forward line then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was.
Wishart with pace was able to get the right position and dribble at home. They're just making something out of nothing with their goals too. When Haratuku's not marking it, which is often. Pryor stands his ground and wins it down again. Great tackle, Harnett. He brought Corrigan to ground. That was tough. It could have nearly been a sling tackle. That's how hard that was.
It costed him.
Nearly 24 gone. Their biggest lead of the match, the Bombers by 15 points. Pryor the tap. Kingsbury's been great. Tries to burst his way through. Takes the field on. Got a little hand pass out while being tackled. Pushed out again by the Bombers. Corrigan, though, handballs to Armitage defensively. Pushes a kick to half forward. Getting up Charles. Lays a good fist. Tap backwards cleverly by the Bombers in the middle of the ground. Ball to be won. Corrigan manages to get a little kick around the corner. Tap down cleverly to Charles. Taken down by Amalfi. Kicks the Bombers to half forward. Oh, great mark from behind by Dids, but he's given away a free kick. He stood his ground, I thought. But the umpire believed that Waterson was shoved forward a little bit. He goes backwards now to fullback, and Casey takes the mark with his team under the pump, down by 15 points. 9-5, 59 to 7-2, 44. McLean leading, fisted away nicely by Dids. Keeps the ball inside, attacking 50. Grant snaps around the body. Jared Grant, another one, kicks his third. The turnover occurred, and Jared Grant was there to grab the scraps, which he so often does.
Not good signs here for Bonbeach. Armitage limps to the boundary.
Gee, that is not good. 10-5, 65 to 7-2, 44.
I think he's going to come straight up the race, Dan, which is never a good sign.
No.
Never a good sign. But that's where, just a bit of interaction with the crowd on the way through. It mustn't be too bad, mate. But yeah, look, they're really starting to get on top through that midfield, and they're spreading a lot harder than what Bonbeach are. But that doesn't look good.
Is he done a calf or a hammy?
I don't think he's going to come back by the looks of it. Let's see if we can find out, Dan. Yeah, that didn't look good at all.
I'll ask Liam Hill at the minute. It's tapped down again.
This is a
Good
big
mate of mine, Liam. Here's Gilbert, who's been a bit quiet this quarter. Feeds a hand pass out now. Little kick by Reece Hogan to Bailey. Bailey couldn't take it cleanly. Greeley coming the other way. Kingsley, they're great in the contested situation. Taps down to Sutton. Nice kick. Mark was dropped. Good attempt to mark it, though. Longham goes over the boundary. Opposed to Douglas. 10-5, 65 to 7-2, 44. Blitzkrieg by the Bombers have kicked 7 goals to 2 in an unbelievable second quarter, thanks to Jigsaw Finance on the Catapult Sports scoreboard. Boundary thrown again. Won by Haratuku. Greeley is there, couldn't take it. Flipped out by Corrigan of the Bombers, and it goes over the boundary once more in front of the social club rooms. What a quarter of footy this has been.
Yeah, they've been really good. Moved the ball really well. They've been dangerous when they go forward too. There seems to be a lot of space in Bombers' forward line.
Haratuku and Fisher tapped down. Sutton at the front couldn't take it. Haratuku just tried to burst his way through. Thrown to ground. That's no mean feat by Big Joe Fisher, attacking side centre square. We heard the earth move. That was the song, wasn't it? Thrown up, slightly attacking side. The Bombers going forward again to the Peninsula end. Chase Harris is there. Hurried boot to ball. Came out from Fisher. Kicks into bodies. Greeley at ground level worked hard. Got involved in a good contest there.
I think Martika did a version of that.
Yes, she did.
I
heard the earth move. I won't sing it. I'm no good.
You just did.
Thrown up. Good tap to the back. Won by Harnett from Haratuku. Then he's accosted. He lost it. Really tough contested footy again in front of the social club rooms and our commentary position.
They've smashed
Nearly
them in
28
contested.
minutes gone. They've had a big quarter, haven't they?
Yeah, smashed them in contested football this quarter for sure.
7 goals to 2. Haratuku the tap. Sutton the rove. Handball run down cleverly by Gent. Socket forward by Hogan towards Peckett. And Peckett is claimed in a tackle, going nowhere. Still on the wing. So Bonbeach just battling to score here. There's got to be a free kick, I reckon. Haratuku's held by Fisher. Haratuku worked his way to the front.
How good's
and
he
the
been?
big man, he's been unbelievable.
This quarter, he is-
Candidate for best on ground for the Rosebud Country Club, providing us with the tightless golf balls. On the left, launches it long towards half forward. Big fist, good play by McLean, opposed to Pryor. That's Ben McLean, and he got a decent punch from the side and puts a good spoil over the boundary between wing and half forward. 10-5-65 Frankston Bombers. Bonbeach 7-2-44 on the Catapult Sports scoreboard.
That's the advantage that they've got, Frankston Bombers over Bonbeach, is Hiratuku kicks down the line to Harry Pryor. You got
Correct.
two big tools.
Pryor
Bonbeach
taps
don't have
it down, slips to Peckett. Peckett slipped in a tackle, and he again is unable to extricate a decent possession for the Sharks. Attacking side, centre square. Just inside now for the Bombers. Pryor taps it down. Gilbert there. Gent there as well. Taken in a tackle. Forces a kick to slew away and out of bounds on the full. The pressure by the Bombers enormous, Chris.
It is.
Short pass, Greeley. He finds Avery, who marks on the wing. With their team up by 21 points on the Chris Paul Cup Day. His kick is smothered, and it ricochets to Harnett. Harnett off one step. High kick inside 50. Grant again. Second in line. McLean was there, and it just cleared him. Maybe a slight nudge from that big, big body of Jared Grant, and he's taken the mark, a chance to kick his fourth.
Yeah, no, just Didsy just let him know about that too and give him a pat on the back. So Frankston are up and about. Don't worry about that. And it's a few worrying signs because there's a few of the Bonbeach guys not carrying the ground. Obviously, Armitage is in the rooms now, but a couple not carrying the ground.
To kick his third, I should say.
Oh,
this is
that
coming
is a
back.
goal.
It's coming back, and he knows. He salutes to the crowd, the great man, and then he gets in that little laid-back trot, that familiar gait that we know from Jared Grant. 27 points, and this has been an 8-goal-to-2 second quarter. And how good has it been, Chris Holcomb?
One of the most impressive quarters I've seen for a long time. And we talked about that before the game, and Bonbeach said they have these quarter dropouts. Mentally, they don't seem to be able to sustain 4 quarters, and it looks like they've done it again today. This quarter's just blown them apart.
11-5-71 to 7-2-44, and Bo Muston was confident, wasn't he, with his team?
I was surprised at quarter time how confident he was that Bonbeach would not be able to cover the ground over the 4 quarters, and he's proven to be right.
Thrown up in the middle. One down by Fisher, tried to get boot to ball, but again the clearance. Pryor had the kick run down, ricochets towards the back edge of the centre square, and that was a little bit untidy by Stenning. In fact, they get a free kick though as they jar a handball free on the outer side. Gent, he wriggles out of a tackle, gets the hand pass back to Bailey. Bailey kicks down the line again, and it's marked inside by young Murray, who's been pretty quiet today. He's got nothing on offer up the ground. Must go back. Kick holds up for a long time. Casey will look to slow it down in front of the scoreboard at half back.
They can't kick
31 minutes this quarter's gone. It's 27 points the lead. 71 to 44. Casey with an awkward kicking style. Kicks down the line. Good play by Pryor to get a fist on it. Loose ball again. It's at ground level. It's near the boundary. And what a great half of footy, particularly second quarter by the Bombers. At one stage, Bonbeach, 5-2 with 16 points up, but then a magnificent fight back by the Bombers late in that first quarter and a terrific second quarter, as good as we've seen all year. 8-2. They're 11-5-71, and they lead Bonbeach 7-2-44. Jared Grant has kicked 3, including probably goal of the day for Anytime Fitness. Khan Hiratuku's kicked 2 and taken mark of the day, well, numerous marks of the day for Great Stint against Australia, while Trent Dennis-Lane kicked a couple in the first quarter, but like a number of teammates, has been pretty quiet since then, Chris Holcomb.
He has indeed. Look, there was a lot of people went in hiding there. Frankston cleaned up that defensive side of their midfield. They really started to win that contested ball and got it into their forward line quick. And you saw when they got it in there quick how much space they had. Spindles, you can't give him 2 metres. You can't get Hiratuku in a one-on-one because he'll outmark you. They really did go well. I thought Harnett was fantastic through the midfield, and Harry Pryor was a catalyst in the ruck. He started to do what we thought he might have done at the start of the game and dominate. Like grab the ball out of the ruck, tap it down, win the clearance, boot it long way forward. So I thought Harry was really good. I think Drake at half-back too on Fisher's done an outstanding job. So they haven't had that big target to kick to at all. And when Frankston Bombers' defence has been good, they've been able to chop up the ball. So really, they're going to have to dig deep here, Bonbeach, to get back into this game because signs do not look good.
And when the contested footy was to be won, there were times when it was sort of bouncing around here on the wing. There'd be a little hand in there, Sutton would be in the middle. Kingsbury's been very good. Harnett, we know. Look, Fox is playing more like a negative role, but doesn't really need to dominate because the other three have been brilliant.
No, I thought Sutton and Kingsbury that quarter were really good. They assisted with Harnett with all that sort of thing. I thought Gent's been fantastic for Bonbeach, and he's probably been a lone hand. I don't think they've had enough. When Armitage went off, Gilbert tended to go missing a little bit, and they didn't have another one go through there. That was when Corrigan's been really quiet today. I don't know whether it's because he's running with Harnett and have a more negative role, but I think he's been really quiet. So I think they probably have to roll the dice and get a little bit more offensive with their midfield. But that might open the gates and go the other way for Frankston.
And it doesn't matter, and my love for Matthew Douglas as a one-on-one defender. It doesn't matter how good a one-on-one defender you are, and he's very good at the ball's coming in so quickly.
Yeah.
And you've got someone like Jared Grant, who's a freakish talent. We know that when the ball hits the ground, there's not much you can do about it, is there?
No, there's not the way the ball's coming in and the space that they're creating through there. So they've done a fantastic effort. That was a very, very impressive quarter.
It's got a quarter of footy as I've seen from a team this year.
It was. And like they said, and Bonbeach admitted themselves, they haven't been playing 4 quarters. Is that their bad quarter and are they going to come out and have a good half, or are they done? Are they spent? Are they going to struggle to come back through the midfield? It's going to be really interesting to be in there at half time and have a listen to see how they attack the second half, because they're going to have to find some character because they're getting smashed around the ball.
And we'll have to check on David Armitage's injury as well. We've got to go around the grounds too for Mornington Timber and Decking. And, of course, Mornington Timber and Decking was our host on Wednesday night. Higher standards in both quality and service. Call reception on 5975 1031 or the great man John Gash directly on 0427 028 450.
Beautiful.
What have you got for us, mate?
Edithvale, Rosebud, Edithvale 51040. Rosebud 4529, Sereno 5737, YC right on top there 91266. That's a lot of scoring shots for a half.
Good tight game between Pines and Red Hill.
Pines and Red Hill 6743, Pines 5636, Red Hill, and Dramana 3321, Mount Eliza 7951. So there, Mount Eliza going really well there. Second division, mate, I've got those up there for you if you like. Chelsea fought back that quarter, 8-7-55, Mornington 8-1. 49 Chelsea. Ooh,
good game of footy.
Yeah, they've kicked the last 6, I think, Chelsea.
Another good game of footy.
Crib Point, 7 straight, 42. 6-7-43. The Abbeys up by 1 point there at halftime. Summy, 7-7-49. Devon, 8-5-53. That looks like a belter.
It does.
Seaford, 4-8-32. Karingal, 7-5-47.
It's going along under the radar, Karingal. They're playing very well, aren't they?
Oh, they're not under my radar.
I know they're not.
I think they're right up there. Hastings 117, Pearcedale 7-8-50. That's a really good difference from Pearcedale. Rye 5-3-33. Langy kicking away now 9-6-60 at half time.
It's an outstanding round of footy in first and second division. We'll have more very shortly thanks to Jigsaw Finance. Experience the difference with the right home loan. They're a major sponsor today. 11-5-71 to the Bombers. 8 goals to 2 in that quarter, and David Armitage is injured. We'll try and check on his progress. The Bonbeach Sharks with some work to do. 7-2-44. Get your game face on.
In life,
You have to play by the rules. Fit in.
don't be too thin.
Or too bulky.
You have to be perfect.
Try harder. Go faster.
Know your limits.
Calm down.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Wearing that.
Eating that.
Suck it up. Suck it in.
Boys don't cry.
Girls don't fight.
You can't do that.
You watch this.
There's no right way.
No wrong way.
Only your way.
Anybody.
Anytime.
Hi, I'm David from Jigsaw Finance. If you're looking to purchase a home or an investment property or even refinance your home loan, at Jigsaw Finance we can put the pieces together to make it work for you.
On the inside, Sophie Marr, but Isabella Calm gets the upper hand.
Just gets it past the fielder. You're in trouble. Pierce Sterling will be run out. And wonderful to see some of the greats of Australian sport here today.
It's just on exactly 2 miles. 2-time Olympic Games finalists over the 3,000 steeple.
Too wide. In the inside is Marr, but down the outside is Calm.
Over running at ground level, Charlie Rowe again from Mount Eliza.
I want to crash the interview. Take the microphone, Pete. Thank you. So I just want to be a big fan of yours. So I'm in the federal parliament, but you play Big Bash.
Come outdoors, we're sitting here watching athletics, there's heaps of people running of all ages.
Time's through, so this first place is really important. The runner in green in Buddy.
Eddie Jerovic now has got a bit of move to do. He's got to try to get a run off the bank somewhere.
Gertz roosts that one. That is a monster of a kick for a goal. Waters in again, short. He hits this high, and he might have got enough on this to go for 6. It has. Coming into a catching position on the onside. Mills the spoon shot. He's picked the gap beautifully. What a shot that is.
Get your game face on.
No, that's all right.
Well, welcome back to Greg
That's all
Beck
good.
Oval.
That's all good.
And it is half-time thanks to
That's all
Jigsaw
right.
Finance.
That's all
And
right.
what
You
a
leave it
quarter
open.
of footy that was for the Bombers. A bit of carnage in the Bonbeach rooms too, not only from the fact that they conceded 8 goals to 2, 11-5-71 on the Catapult Sports scoreboard, the Bombers. Jared Grant's kicked 3 and Kane Hiratuku's kicked 2 and marked everything that's moved inside 50. Bonbeach just 2 goals in that quarter, 7-2-44. Trent Dennis Lane's kicked 2. David Armitage has done a hamstring. I saw him in there getting changed, so he's gone. Owen Hewlett's got a massive corky as well, but will continue to play.
Someone did a finger as well, I think.
Oh, yes, I'm not sure who that is, but that's right.
They can't come back from this.
You don't think they can?
No. It'd be one of the most courageous character-building comebacks of the year because they're dead and buried. Like, they're best prime movers been injured and off. They were getting smashed at contested ball. They're down 2 ruckmen that they don't have. So they're going to have to throw a lot of different things around and give Frankston a different look at it. And it's going to take a lot of character and courage to be able to do that. Have they got it? I don't know. We'll see how we go.
Well, the defenders were having a decent chat. Obviously, Nick Waterston, Ben McLean, Matt Douglas, Lachlan Stenning, and Reece Hogan. And, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think it's their fault because they just...
No.
Bombers are winning too much footy.
No,
too
not
strong
at
at the contest. Luke Verma told me they're just too strong at the contest.
Yeah,
Surge
not at all.
footy.
They're there to obviously stop them and hold them up when things do go down there. But it was coming through too easy. They had too much space. The midfielders had too much space to be able to make decisions and use the ball as opposed to being under pressure and just jam it forward. So the backs are going to have a struggle when that's going to happen. So everything about this needs to start from the midfield. Gent's trying his butt out, but they need to have another couple in there that are going to help him out. Corrigan probably needs to go from defensively minded to offensively minded and start to win some ball through there as well. Maybe they give Macca a couple of bursts of 5-minute patches through there. Maybe they try something else. I know McLean's limping, but geez, he's a good little player. Maybe
Tom McLean,
Bailey,
you're talking?
Maybe Bailey goes in there
he
and gives
does.
them a bit of a run. But they need to try and get more out of that midfield. Gilbert obviously had a great first quarter, but then went missing in the second quarter.
So what do? They put Fisher in the ruck and have Gilbert play as a midfielder.
Well, Fisher's not going well forward. Drake's beaten him at centre-half forward. So,
and Owen Hewlett's not 100% fit either. So what do you do there?
Well, exactly. And the thing is that I don't know if Fisher wants to run. I mean, if Fisher wants to run out the game in the ruck, I don't know if his body's going to be able to take that. So maybe it is Fisher. Maybe it is him to step up and really have a crack in there in the ruck and give him first use of the ball. But it's going to be very interesting, mate. Needs to be a massive turnaround. Because even in that first quarter, Frankston Bombers were still winning a lot of ball, but they couldn't convert through.
No.
And Bonbeach, whenever they got the ball forward, were converting. So, we're giving them the lead.
What has impressed you most about the Bombers today?
Well, it was a managed to absorb that first up pressure because they were getting beaten first 10, 15 minutes around the pill, but they managed to stay with it. And I think the biggest thing with them is that they've got Pryor and Hiratuku are such an advantage over other teams that other teams just don't have that. So if they do get in trouble, they can go along down the line and have the contest or a break even, which has been huge. Harnett's been fantastic. See how he goes in the second half. Here we go.
So second half underway for Jigsaw Finance. 27-point lead to the Bombers. 8 goals to 2 second quarter. Can they come back? The Bonbeach Football Club without David Armitage is off with a hamstring. Gone for the match. And straight away they may get a possession through Pryor, the Bombers. He swung around in a tackle. Couldn't get boot to ball. Lots of players clambering on in the contest. And there's a free kick. And it'll go the way of the Sharks. Straight out of the middle goes Jackson Casey. Kicks high inside 50. Almost a mark to Drake. Brings it to ground level. Hurry kick comes out of the pack. Bombers looking to clear. And they may find the boundary, and they do. They get numbers back.
Maybe it's Jackson Casey go in the middle and make a difference through there.
Who plays on Grant then?
Yeah.
Waterston or Douglas. They've got options. Boundary throw-in, 30 metres around from their goal. Tap down at the drop. Cleared by Charles. He kicks into the middle of the ground. Big, strong mark, though, taken by Stenning. That might give him some confidence. He had a touch of the fumbles in his first game back for a few weeks like he's Stenning in the first half. Good mark. Attacking side centre square, but his kick's not great, and Ryan Mark Slogan is there to cover it and see it over the boundary inside defensive 50 for the Bombers at the Peninsula end.
See how they got no confidence to put that 10 metres out at the top of the square?
Yeah.
Whereas that was a kick that needed to be, to put him under pressure. Not
Back
out
into
wide.
play, Pryor, the tap. Charles doing the roving. Handball on the outside, Sutton. Kingsbury, Fox. Seth Harris keeps it alive, but his handball's turned over. Stenning attacks it hard now after he got it from Casey. Swings around the body, but blindly once again. I'm liking the game of Charles across half-back. He's mopping up cleverly here. Mitch Charles for the Bombers. He'll kick it down the line in front of the social club rooms. Underneath it, Kingsley. Fisted away by Douglas.
Oh.
The umpires found a free kick. Douglas unlucky, and Kingsbury gets that free kick. Kingsbury on the wing. Looking to play on. Dave, Lee putting pressure on him. He gets around him, but his kick's an absolute shocker. And Gent was camped underneath it. Circumvents it on the wing. Goes inside to Stenning. Starting to get involved, Lockie Stenning. And back in his right position, which is half back. He goes back to Ben McLean. Ben McLean will feed a 25-metre hand pass over the top. Stationary and able to drive now is Tyson Murray. Kicks the Sharks towards half forward on the outer side.
Well
Turnover again. Bombers do well. Picked up by Charles, who's had 4 possessions this quarter. His handball over's run down. And unfortunately for Greeley, Bailey got low and he got him high. So Bailey with the free kick. Plays on quickly. Wobbles a kick to half forward. Finger-tipping attempt to mark by Fisher. Not paid. Should have been paid. At ground level, Grant's there. Feeds the hand pass out on the up. And the umpire's going to pick out a free kick, I think, against Jared Grant, and it'll go to Bonbeach at left half forward. And it will be Mitch Gent, who got clamoured into.
That was a mark from Fisher, wasn't it?
I think so.
Must have been touched. I thought he had enough of it.
So Gent will get the hand pass off to Gilbert. Gilbert's 52 from goal. Sets sail, kicks long, and it goes across the face and doesn't find the target.
You got to take that.
Well, it was a bit of a helicopter, typical Sam Gilbert kick. And Owen Hewlett.
It was a typical Gilbert kick, wasn't it?
Well, it was. Boundary throw and deep into attack. They're attacking hard here, the Sharks, at the moment. Quick kick comes out from Casey. He's gone, as we said, into the midfield. But again, the defence of Amalfi puts a decent punch over the boundary and ensures there's no score. Score hasn't changed from what it was at half-time on the Catapult Sports scoreboard, 11-5-71 to 7-2-44. Boundary throw-in again. Tap down by Pryor, and it'll go out of bounds. In fact, it's sneaking through for a behind. First score of the second half. A lot of repeat entries inside 50 for the Sharks, 7-3-45 to 11-5-71.
I like their intent early, though, Bonbeach. They've come out and had a crack early, which is great.
Into play, the kick's a good one. I love Charles's game so far in this quarter. Charles at half-back, kicks down the line as he receives the kick in. Haratuku up, late spoil made by McLean. At the drop, Peckett couldn't get hold of it, then tried to lay a tackle. Can't insert himself in the game so far, young Sonny. Father Justin played 252 games for the Saints. 3 times top 3 finish in the best and fairest. Boundary throw in front of the social club rooms. Getting up high, Gilbert taps it down. Harnett reads it best, was taken off the footy in a tackle. And the umpire is claiming there's a free kick that Harnett, the tackle lingered.
That was soft. By
his cooler or tagger in Sean Corrigan. And he'll take the free kick. Defensive side of the wing. Nice little pass, finds Sutton. Sutton marks at centre half back. He will spread it to the outer side of the ground. Greeley has it now, kicks down the line towards half forward for the Bombers, but intercepting, taking a good strong mark. That is Murray, who's playing at half back, feeds it out now. Down the line goes Bailey, bouncing ball towards half forward. They've got numbers down there. Drake leads his opponents a merry dance. Then he kicks down the line, but he turns it over once again as they get numbers back, and McDonald will slow it down.
They've got nothing to kick too long,
No, that's their issue.
All.
26 points the margin.
Look at that.
Kicks it inside 50 in a hurried fashion, but a good strong mark to Fisher, a candidate for mark of the day for Great Syndicates Australia. They can't take that one off him.
He worked really hard to get back then. Like he would have run 30 metres backwards to create an option for Macca to kick it to him down the line, because there was absolutely nothing there. So well done from Fisher on that occasion. He needs to get his work rate right up this quarter for him to get back into it.
Left of centre half forward to cut the margin to 20 points with the first goal of the third term. 71 plays 45. Joe Fisher, they need more from him. Kicked 9 goals this year. Kicks it high. Doesn't quite have the distance. And again, the big defence of the Bombers. It's been pretty reliable and disciplined today after a sluggish start. 7-4-46. 2 behinds conceded to 11-5-71 on the Catapult Sports scoreboard. Amalfi to inbound. One of the solid defenders down there. Which way will he go? They've tended to favour the social club room side of the ground today, Holtz.
Yuck.
That kick is off the side of the boot and Hunt, it's there. Sullivan might have got a hand on that, or was it out of bounds on the full?
He's had a quiet day, Amalfi, around the ground. He usually is a catalyst from springboarding off half back. I think he's been pretty quiet.
Very close to the Bombers coaching dugout. Back into play at half forward, doing a lot of the attacking, the Sharks. Pryor pushes his opponent out of it. Couldn't take it cleanly. Got one in the face accidentally by Gilbert. It was a bit awkward in that exchange. He gets up slowly at the back, Harry Pryor.
His knee got taken out. Gilbert was down low. That's the ones that they're trying to protect the ruckman from.
So throw up again. Reece Hogan came up with the footy last. Pryor the tap. Socket off the ground by Kingsbury in the way. Standing has been good this quarter. Kicks to half forward. But again, a nice fist by Ryan Marks Logan on Sullivan, who was trying to take the mark on his chest. He came across his bows and put it over the boundary again in front of the Bombers coaching dugout. Into attack again, the Sharks. They've got the only 2 scores of the third quarter, 2 behinds. Nearly 8 minutes played. They're down by 25 points. Prior the tap. Good tackling by Sutton. Good tackling also by Charles. Forces the ball to jar free, taken by Corrigan, receives it from Gent, kicks inside 50, but again another hurried kick and good defence by the Bombers at half-back through Marks Logan once more. In short, Sutton, who's been everywhere, lucky star, marking it half-back in front of the netball courts, goes inboard now. That's a nice kick. Mark to Fox, hasn't had a lot of the footy today. That's a great kick. It just hits the target on the outer side of the ground of Amalfi. Amalfi kicks down the line again.
Oh, great kick.
And almost a mark to Wood. And he gets the ball at the spillage, handballs to Harris, kicks inside 50, tapped down by Haratuku. Arriving late, Kingsbury lays a very, very good tackle, forcing the Sharks to not be able to clear from their defensive 50 at the southern end.
Hewlett down the forward line is a witch's hat at the moment. He's out there purely because they haven't got any rotation through the bench. He's very proppy down there, Dan.
Tap down, one by Haratuku, kicks into bodies. Fox goes up again. He couldn't take it cleanly. Ball's at centre half forward. Woods there. He taps it backwards cleverly. On his own is Matt Harris. Matt Harris kicks into the pocket. Almost a good mark to Longham. Did well to get up despite those ageing knees. Ball's at ground level and they do well to lock it in well inside their attacking 50, the Bombers. 71-46, margin 25 points. We've played nearly 9 minutes in the third quarter on the Catapult Sports scoreboard. Bombers into attack now, looking to try and tie it in inside their attacking 50. Sharks attempt to get a hand pass out, blanketed by the Bombers, who hold it up again. Really good contest this, and their effort to keep the ball inside attacking 50, but their work rate is exemplary by the home team at the moment. Haratuku gets a hand on that one. Once more going nowhere.
High. He's pulled a free kick out. Where's he going?
Which way?
Don't know. Which way are we going? Going to Kingsbury, is it? Kingsbury?
Might be Kingsbury, I think.
Yeah, I think he has. He's plucked it out. He always puts his head in tight situations like yourself, Dan. Always gets his head where it shouldn't be.
He's been good today, hasn't he?
Very good.
Yeah.
He's a very good player.
He is.
He often
Does he
gets
get enough credit?
No, not as much, because obviously you've got Fox and Harnett and Sutts who probably get the... But he is a very, very good footballer. VFL calibre.
Yeah.
I think he's a Frankston.
Right of centre half forward, 40 metres out for their 12th goal. Kingsbury kicks across the face of behind. The first score of the third quarter to the Bombers at the 10-minute mark, thanks to Jigsaw Finance, 11-6-72 to 7-4-46. So a lot of work to be done here by the Sharks. Back into play. Waterston will be the target. He wasn't going to go for it and does. Wasn't going to get to Lee, the other target at half-back in front of the Bonbeach coach's dugout. And our commentary position on the hill. He kicks down the line again. Haratuku gets up and takes a plucker away from the man it was intended for, young Joel Day.
He's an intimidating figure, isn't he?
He is. He pops it in short now. Young Wishart kicked a very important goal. Takes the mark on the wing. Plays on quickly. Driving ball inside 50. Longham goes up. Brings it to ground. Shark by Fox. Fox on the left. Just misses to the left-hand side. Great front square roving by Sammy Fox, who's in the VFL Team of the Year in 2019 when playing for the Sandringham Zebras. 11-7-73 to 7-4-46. Same as it was at half-time. 27 points. Murray doing the kicking out in the pink boots. Heads to the outer side to Gent, who's been his team's best player by a fair way. Finds Bailey behind the wing on the outer side, but it's stagnant. Stop-start footy. Looks to take on Pryor. Pryor brings him to ground and a great tackle and a free kick to Bailey. What for, Chris?
He had a... Oh, my God. For the sling tackle after. That's pathetic.
Bailey. Plays on quickly, kicks high to the wing.
That's
underneath it, Fisher. That's going to be a shove in the back. The umpire lets it go. It falls to young Wood. Wood on the left for the Bombers. Kick not great. Stenning
he's been better
back.
this quarter, like he's
Stenning. Backtracking hard. Half-backs his position. Kicks down the ground, Stenning.
Great kick.
Nice ball's got a player at the back. Oh, Hogan didn't know where the footy was. He didn't take the mark, Reece Hogan. Wins it at ground level. Handballs to Gilbert. Opportunity might have been lost, though. Ball's at half forward, and the Bombers' defence stands up again. Kingsbury receives. Gets the hand pass out on the outside to Harnett. Pumps it further afield now to Fox. The good players involved. 25-metre hand pass to Matt Harris. Goes back now to Fox. Around the outer wing. Kicks inside 50. Grant gets out on a lead and takes the mark. Well, this could be a 12-point play, Hulks, couldn't it?
Yeah, I feel for the young fella. There mustn't have been any talk around him to tell him to come back hard. Didn't hear a voice. Turn around the other end, and Grant takes a nice, strong mark. But, yeah, you never like to be in that situation.
And the good users got the footy on the outer side. Sam Fox starting to have an impact. Not saying he wasn't having an impact. He might have been playing a defensive role in the first half, and you did intimate that.
Yep.
But he's starting to get a lot of the ball in an attacking fashion in this term. Grant, 45 from goal. He hasn't had the kicking boots on when he's been having a set shot. Longham attacks it hard, trying to fly and Mark can't. Ball hits ground level, 10 metres out from goal. Haratuku goes in hard. Slips to Harris, beats one, beats two, snaps a great goal. Magnificent players. He was able to avoid tackles, and Matt Harris puts his name up in lights for goal of the day for any time fitness, and that hurts the Sharks. 13 gone in the third quarter. All their effort of industry has ended up resulting in naught. Chris Holcomb, a great goal on Matt Harris.
I love how Bonbeach have come out this quarter, though. They've shown real intent. They've had a crack at the contest. Yes, Frankston have kicked that goal, but even running back then, their heads didn't drop through. So I thought they've shown a lot of character for the start of this quarter. So if they keep ploughing away at it, they should get some results at some stage through. But that was a great goal.
12-7-79 to 7-4-46. We saw Haratuku on the ground just put that massive frame in.
Big unit.
He is huge, isn't he? 33-point lead. He's having a massive influence to win the Titleist golf balls for best on ground for the Rosebud Country Club. Jackson tried to win the tap from Haratuku, but turned over again. Quick kick inside 50 by Kingsbury. Bouncing to Grant. Clever little tap to Wishart. Gets the hand pass out now to Harnett. Harnett taking on a tackle once, twice, three times. Free kick. What was that for? I thought that was a free kick because Hogan hung on forever and Harnett tried to release it, couldn't release it. Was still holding the ball, and it should have been holding the ball.
Oh, well. Yeah, no, it looked a little bit stiff from here, mate. There's not much of him either, is there?
This to make the margin, 39 points.
The dagger. Flex, and he put it through.
He's having a very good day. Yeah. Alex Flex Harnett from 40 metres. He kicks through the 40. He knows he's kicked it.
He liked it.
Oh, he loves it too, the big fella.
He had the head wobble going.
2-0 this quarter. It's getting tough now for the Sharks at the 15-minute mark of the third quarter on the Catapult Sports scoreboard. 13-7-85 to 7-4-46. And Catapult Sports creating technology to help athletes and teams perform to their true potential.
Well, their first 10 minutes were fantastic, Bonbeach. Like we said, their contest work was great. But how long were they going to be able to sustain it for? And now they've got a couple against them. Are the floodgates going to open? I don't know, Dan. I'm a bit worried about it.
They need a percentage boost. So they were 20% behind Bonbeach, but they just need a big percentage boost to hear the Bombers. And this might be the one they get today against one of the pre-season premiership favourites who just can't get a decent crack at it. And there'll be a secondary bounce. Haratuku doing the ruck work against Gilbert. They lost Tom Hogan on Thursday night with a little hammy. That's why Stenning's come in tonight. Wood does well to attack it the other way defensively for the Bombers. Got it to Harnett. Flicks a hand pass out to Herituku. And now to Mark Slogan. Gets the hand pass out now in the direction of Chase Harris. He avoids the tackle by Buckling. Now to Herituku, who switches play to the broadcast side. Getting up, camped underneath it was Dids. Good fist the other way by Trent Dennis Lane, who's getting involved. He has to try and insert himself, but he goes a bit high with the tackle. And it'll be a free kick to Sutton at half-back in front of the netball courts. Dale Sutton for the Bombers. We've played 16 minutes in the third quarter. He kicks down the line to Grant. Grant can't mark it. Brings it to ground level. Rode by Jet, who's battled manfully. Kicks to the wing. Socket away by young Joel Day in his first game. On hands and knees, Seth Harris. Hand pass misses the target for the Bombers. Corrigan in the road. Kicks inside 50. Good use of the body. Fisher. Well, he gets a free kick against Drake. I thought it might have gone Drake's way. But Fisher will get... I thought he might have outmanoeuvred him when Drake didn't have the footy. That kick is off the side of the boot like a bag of wheat in the sun. And the defenders get down, including Amalfi. And, it was out of bounds on the full anyway.
You have a bit more time than that. I don't know what he was trying to do with that wheel and go.
This definitely the Bombers' best performance so far this year. 13-7-85 to 7-4-46. Kicks it low and flat. Herituku up.
Can't mark. Fisher.
Fisher, though, in front takes the mark. That's a great mark by Fisher. He's starting to have a good quarter too for Great Syndicates Australia. The marks of the day keep mounting. High kick inside 50. No, there was a mark. Mark at the back. I thought that Drake might have had that first.
I'm pretty sure he did have first dib on that. But he's paid it anyway. Now he gets a shot at goal. But that's what they haven't been doing. They haven't been hitting that 15-metre mark at the top of the square.
And Owen Hewlett, who's not fit, he's got a massive corky, but he did well to hang on to that. And they just need this to give them a slither of hope at the 18-minute mark of the third quarter, the Sharks. But it was 5-2. Since then, it's been 11 goals to 2.
Never looked like it, did it?
And he misses to the right-hand side from 30 metres, virtually directly in front. So as I say, 5-2 at one stage for Bonbeach. Are led by 16 points in the first quarter. Since then, the Bombers have polled on 11 goals to 2.
Do you want a quick around the grounds?
Love a quick around the grounds from Mornington Timber and Decking.
Here we go, Div 2. Chelsea 1 point up now on Mornington. Tyab and Crib Pointer 1 goal in front.
Great game.
Somerville Devon Meadows. Summy 1 point in front.
Oh, how good are the second division matches?
Seaford Coringal. Coringal are 8 points in front.
Wow.
Pearsdale kick clear 37 points in front of Hastings. Rye Langwarren, they're about 37 points up now, Langwarren at that stage. Div 1, just quickly before we go back. Edithvale now 23 points up on Rosebud. YC really kicked clear of Sereno now, 47 points. Equal scores at Pines Red Hill, and Dramana Mount Liza are 26 points up on Dramana.
Thanks to Mornington Timber and Decking. Some wonderful matches. Round 7.
Pretty close, isn't it?
Yeah, Division 2's outstanding. Now, the Bombers brought the ball around the outer side. Fox got involved. Seth Harris, Matt Harris, and eventually off hands out of bounds in the forward pocket. 30 around from their goal at the southern end. Boundary throw in. McLean there, Ben, fisted down by Herituku. Bailey does well to run across the goal front and then kick across the face. Taken by the young fella Day. Gets worried out of it in front of the Bonbeach coach's staff.
Oh,
Emerging with it, Charles. He's had a good quarter. Kicks to Grant. Oh,
he's taken that.
He's taken the one-hander. And that's our mark of the day for Great Syndicates Australia. It doesn't count. Down round by reckons that he took it just over the boundary.
I reckon he took that.
I thought he did too, and he made it look so simple, didn't he?
Yeah.
Boundary throw-in. Herituku taps to the front, out to Fox. Fox dancing out of a tackle, handballs to Herituku, throws it on the boot. Well done, McLean, to put pressure. Up and down to the one spot, trying to take the mark block. He's kicked 2 goals in the second quarter. Attacks it hard, 20 metres out from the goal that they're attacking, and it'll be thrown up.
Can we get a replay of that? That was very close, wasn't it? Hey?
85-47, the margin 38 points on the Catapult Sports scoreboard. Tap down Herituku, rode by Stenning. Handball straight to Matt Harris. Hooks around the body, was going right the whole way.
I'll put our producer under the pump, mate, trying to get his replay of that Jared Grant mark.
And he's been a very creative player today in Blake Miller. 13-8-86. 7-5-47 back into play.
Stenning's been good this quarter.
Stenning has a good quarter. Halfback's his position. That's where he played when they won the under-18 premiership. The Dandenong Stingrays, their first ever flag in the old TAC Cup with players like Bailey Williams, Toby Bedford, the Cummings twins who play at Rosebud on the ruck. High kick down the line. Can there be a mark taken by Fisher Knight? Off hands to Charles.
Jeez,
great hand pass to Harnett. Harnett kicks long. Grant's got out the back. Grant! Mark! It's taken a rip at Jared Grant. He'll handball over the top. Greeley will kick the goal. And there's another one on the board, and you can just about ice this contest.
How good was Charles then with his hands out of the contest?
How good's he been this quarter?
He's a good kid. I played a lot of footy with his old man. I was having a chat with him. I said, geez, he plays a lot like you. And he says, oh, what? Doesn't pick up. I said, no, very good. Oh, I'm impressed with him. He's got great hands, good awareness. He's made a couple of mistakes, but kids, you accept that. But he's been really good.
He puts himself in the frame for the mark of the day for Great Syndicates Australia, Jared Grant. I still think Khan might have that covered because Jared might have goal of the day covered.
Which one?
He's taken about 6 of them, Big Khan, hasn't he? Great Syndicates Australia, helping you eliminate debt, consolidate debt, and pay off the mortgage in around 5 years. Thrown up in the middle of the centre again. Pryor wins it down. Getting it, Kingsbury does well, got tagged. Kicks to half forward. Almost sits for Heratuku. Tapped on again by Dids. The defence of Bonbeach is under enormous pressure. They try and keep it alive. Bailey receives it, then got a hand pass on the inside to Lee, who tried to get it back to Bailey, but missed the target out of bounds.
Well, we've got a replay of the mark here, mate. Here we go. Fantastic effort from our producer. Here we go.
Let's see if he actually took this. Yeah, I reckon
he's
he took
that.
I reckon he took it. I reckon he had a control.
Well done, Tommy. Good stuff. That was fantastic.
Boundary throw in Pryor. Taps to the front. Outstanding effort, Tommy.
Well, very professional.
Kingsbury's had a great quarter and great match. Bailey gets a hand pass out, but his teammate was taken in a tackle. The pressure of the Bombers great. Jackson Casey was backtracking over the boundary, trying to avoid tackles and wasn't able to.
How's the professionalism of the broadcast, then? Fantastic.
Tommy's been outstanding. Don't know about me, and you've been great too. Margin 45 points. Boundary throw on attacking 50. 3 goals to none for the Bombers this quarter. And again, they hold it up on the attacking 50 with their immense forward pressure.
Ooh.
Bailey was held on to.
I got to buy some tickets in the slab draw. Actually, how much are tickets?
Money. Gent gets it out of the middle now.
On me, but
gets the hand pass to Case.
I'll take a ticket. That's all I got. Cheers, mate.
Look for options left, right, and centre, but he's good enough to find Fisher. Takes the mark wing out of side. Fisher darts it in short. That's better footy. Mark taken by Casey. Kicks long to fall forward, but getting out in front. One of the lockdown defenders. Great mark to young Seth Harris. He delivers now to the outer side of the ground. And Mark Slogan, handballs now to Dids and to Charles. Charles does well to get around Lee. Swivel the hips, kicks to Heratuku, but Douglas attacked it better as Heratuku and McLean were wrestling at the back.
There they go.
And he does well to find Gent again, who's been their best player by a country mile. He'll slip it out wide and switch it to Waterston. Runs onto it, half-back out of side for the Sharks.
Drake
kicks in the direction of Fisher, and Drake gives away a free kick for being all over him in the attempted spoil.
Get behind the mark.
He has to get behind the mark, Fisher.
How's that? How hard is it for defenders if that's a free kick?
In short now to Casey. Casey marks in the middle of the ground. He's been pretty industrious in the midfield. Off the side of the boot, but Trent Dennis Lane a long way from home. Kicked 2 goals early, looking for the footy. They lost Armitage just before half-time with a hammy. Nice kick to centre half forward and floating in Gent. He has worked so hard today. Gent might even be a candidate for the Titleist golf balls, even though his team is a long way down, thanks to Rosebud Country Club. And he just pulled the trigger on that kick. Lovely angled ball, and Fisher, who's also worked manfully this quarter, was able to slip into the hole on a 30-degree angle, 35 from goal, near the scoreboard.
He's a very impressive player, isn't he, Mitch Gent? And I don't reckon he gets the accolades around the league of how much ball he gets. But that's just me. Maybe he's my love child and I love watching him play.
Was last year their year, Bonbeach?
Last year?
Yeah.
Was it Casey a lot of the year last year? But I think now he's just
92 to 47.
Oh, that's a fair
good
kick.
effort by Fisher. Hard on the boundary near the scoreboard and kicks a blinder.
That's a great kick.
First goal for a long, long time since the second quarter. I think we've been waiting over 30 minutes for Bonbeach to get one back, and they cut the margin to 39 points at the 26-minute mark of the third quarter, thanks to Jigsaw Finance on the Catapult Sports scoreboard, 8-5-53 to 14-8-92. And we've had numerous candidates for our goal of the day for Anytime Fitness, with over 500 plus gyms around Australia. And you can add that one as well, considering it was a long, long kick on a fairly acute angle.
Yeah, I think there's a slight wind down that way now, so I reckon that's why it's carried through. But Fish has been fantastic in this quarter. I like that Bonbeach is still having a crack at it, even though they're a long way behind and undermanned. I really like the way they've gone about it this quarter.
Bounce in the middle. Kingsbury was taken high, and he'll get the free kick just behind the centre square. The great man's arrived. Glenn Carter makes it possible for us to be here every week. Chips in short. And they will kick it long inside 50 through Fox, but camped underneath the Day. Takes it on the second, grabbed the bobble. That was a poor kick.
He'd be 60 kilos ringing wet, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he's tall, but Sutton was the player that kicked that. Kicks it down the line again, looking for someone to mark. Should have nearly been a mark to Fisher.
High.
And then Kingsbury gives away a free kick when it was grabbed at ground level by Sullivan on the siren for three-quarter time. 3-1, but I reckon Bonbeach played better than that. They just couldn't put the score on the board, and they're under pressure. They've kicked one goal since the halfway mark of the second quarter. They're 8-5-53, 3 goals to Frankston Bombers, 14-8-92, and the margin 39 points for the Bombers as they search for their 4th win of the season and replace Bonbeach in the top 5 tonight on the Catapult Sports scoreboard. Let's go around the grounds for Mornington Timber and Decking. Chris Holcomb.
Division 1, Edithvale 7-14-56, Rosebud 4-8-32. So Edie look like they're on their way there. Sereno 6-11-47, YC 13-16-94.
Oh, they've flexed their muscles today, haven't they?
They're a good team.
Oh,
I tipped them.
great side.
I reckon they're flag favourites at the moment. I said that Wednesday night.
You did say that.
Pines 8-7-55. Red Hill now in front 9-7-61.
Got to win the close ones, Red Hill. We spoke to Jonah on Wednesday, and that's been their issue, their inability to finish off matches.
Yeah, indeed. Dramana 6-7-43. Mount Eliza 8-13-61. They're not going away, Dramana.
No, they never do.
They are not going away. Let's have a quick look at Div 2. That's an interesting game, that top one. Mornington 10-9-69, Chelsea 11-4-70.
Need to win a close one, Mornington, don't they? That's been their problem. I know they got belted last week, but they've lost a lot of close ones, haven't they?
Yeah, with Langy next week, that would make him 1-7 or...
1-6.
Well, they're not going to beat Langy next week.
No, that's right, 1-7. That's right.
Crib Point 9-3-57, tie of 8-10-58.
Go right down to the
ring
line,
digger,
that
that one.
That's a beauty.
That's a ring digger. Oh, look at this one. 9-7-61, Somerville. Devon, 12-9-81. I reckon White's having a day out. Battle's having about 30.
Plumridge.
Well, they needed to.
Yeah.
Here we go. 9-10-64, Seaford versus Coringal, 9-12-66.
They play that ground so well, Seaford, and they love that ground too.
That'd be a big win if Seaford can get over there.
They've come good, haven't they?
Hastings.
And I'm sure hear from Paul Kennedy. How are you, mate? Did you have a good day? If they win, the great man. G'day, PK.
G'day, PK. Hastings 4-2-26, Pearcedale 8-10-58, so they look like they're on the way to win that one. And Rye 10-3-63, Langwarren 14-10-94. So Rye doing well there, I reckon.
Wonderful day's footy.
It is a
what
cracking day for
it is, mate. It's one of the best.
It's good to be around the MPNFL, mate.
Sure is. 11
and I've
AFL
got
players
purple,
who played
just for
a lot
everyone.
of AFL footy, and another one in Liam Hewlett, who was on a list. He's not playing today, unfortunately, due to a foot injury out for the next 5 to 6 weeks, and Bonbeach are missing his variety up forward. Three-quarter time, 14-8-92, the Frankston Bombers. Bonbeach, that was a goal. I thought they kicked. They haven't put it on the scoreboard yet. 8-5-53, the margin, 39 points. We'll take a break. Chris Holcomb just needs to calm down, and we'll come back with the last quarter shortly, thanks to Jigsaw Finance.
Do you want to generate $2,000 a week for your club? Stand out from the crowd of generic websites? Now that I have your attention, let me walk you through how ClubZone can supercharge your fundraising. Is it time for your club's website to be upgraded to a new, easy-to-use platform? Create a ClubZone website and experience the new benefits today. It's time to supercharge your fundraising. ClubZone is everything your club will need to raise money. It's time to have an all-in-one website for your club's important news, information, sponsorship, e-commerce, ticketing, membership, and much more. There is no need to complicate things with cash when you can run everything through your website. Get your own online store to sell anything and everything. Memberships, apparel, merchandise, memorabilia, and more. For the club that has to juggle everything, Clubzone's easy to use and easy to build website solves your problems. No need to update the latest news on your homepage. Clubzone will have an auto-generated newsfeed straight from your Facebook feed. Open up your club's sponsorship opportunities and showcase and sell packages online to build their exposure. Set up fundraisers like never before with a fully automated raffle system. Ensure that you keep your fundraising events professional. Clubzone's integrated ticketing system is for all of your online and physical events. Take things to another professional level with ticket scanning functionality. We know help desk tools are one of the most integral tools when it comes to supporting our customer base successfully. That's why we are constantly building on our in-depth information centre for your use. Get the full Clubzone experience for just $14.80 a week.
On the inside, Sophie Ma, but Isabella Khan gets the upper hand.
Just gets it past the fielder. You're in trouble. Pierce Sterling, we run out. And wonderful to see some of the greats of Australian sport here today.
It's just on exactly 2 miles. 2-time Olympic Games finalist over the 3,000 steeple.
Too wide. In the inside is Ma, but down the outside is Khan.
Cover running at ground level. Charlie Rowe again from Mount Eliza.
I want to crash the interview. Take the microphone, Pete. Thank you.
Well, it gets worse, unfortunately, for Bonbeach. Owen Hewlett's limping off with that cork that he suffered in the second quarter. David Armitage's match ended in the second quarter with a hammy. And 3-1. Bo Mustin addressed the players, talked about the match for Chris Bull. We know it's a match for Bonbeach as well. He was heavily involved with both clubs to win the inaugural Chris Bull Cup. The great man sadly passed away after a long, long battle with prostate cancer. And my father had it as well, and I encourage all males out there to make sure that you get the test. It's 14-8-92 to 8-5-53. 3-1 in that third quarter. And they've been great today, the Bombers, as Pryor wins it out of the middle. Got the kick run down. Gilbert goes in. Needs a bit more support. It's frantic at the moment, and the umpire says, I'll throw it up, boys.
Bit going on in the crowd too, Dan. Few older blokes enjoying their time.
Having a lovely time. Jackson Casey, including you, Chris Holcomb. He manages to win the stoppage. Handballs though straight to Fox. Fox gets the kick smothered. Picked up by Ditch. Ditch from 50. Good young kid. Is it touched on the line? I don't think
that is
so.
a goal.
Oh, great goal by the youngster. They reckon he can play. My God, he can play. And he might have nearly put his name up in lights to go past the great man Spindles for goal of the day for Anytime Fitness with over 500 plus gyms around Australia. Anywhere, anytime. And Dids, anywhere, anytime with the long flying goal from 55, Chris Holcomb.
Bit worried about this quarter. Hopefully that Bonbeach can dig deep.
That's his second.
Warning signs there early that this could be a blowout. But yeah, that was great by Dids. He's quick, isn't he? He's really low centre of gravity.
98 to 53. Pryor wins it again. Got the kick run down. Casey's been great in the second half. Feeds a hand pass out to Gent, has been wonderful all day. Gets the hand pass out to Corrigan. Corrigan on the left foot. Kicks to Fisher. Doesn't get a good bounce. Drake's right with him in front of the Bonbeach coach's staff. Feeds a hand pass out, which is okay. Sullivan emerges with it. Drops a pass to Dennis Lane. Fisted away late by Garrett. Loose ball. Seth Harris charges on in. Getting the other way. Good hand pass Sutton. Handball out now in the direction of Kingsbury. Turned over to Gent. Gent to Lee of Bonbeach. Back to Gilbert. Gilbert taking in a few tackles. Feeds a hand pass over that misses the target. Turn over to Greeley of the Bombers. Chips into the middle of the ground. And there's Dids again. Handballs to Harnett. Harnett and Seth Harris running. Rough shot on the outside. Kick it inside 50. Loose ball. Who's going to pick it up? Wishart was there at the fall. Couldn't take it for the Bombers. Kicked around the body by Casey. Finds Gent, who's been enormous today. And he delivers wide to Bailey. Bailey half back on the outer side. Kicks Bonbeach towards half forward. But the turnover occurs again. And a good mark off half back taken by the Bombers.
Kingsbury's been good today.
Kingsbury's been superb. Kicks towards the wing. Doesn't quite hit the target. Emerging with it, Bailey. Wins another possession on the wing on the outer side. Got it back now to McLean. McLean in short.
Gent again.
And Gent with about his 50th possession. He kicks to half forward and on a lead is Peckett. Had a quiet day, young Sonny. Back in the team. Kicks inside 50 through the hands of Shane McDonald. At the back, tackle laid was a very good one by Peckett. Forced the Bombers not able to clear on this occasion, but then they continue their great tackling and they emerge with a free kick in the back pocket through Chase Harris.
They're still having a crack here, Bonbeach, which is good signs.
98 to 53.
That 50-metre penalty.
50 metres to Chase Harris, the first one given today.
Bit of descent, was it? Bit of descent. They won't cop that anymore, will they?
He's been good, Chase Harris. Very solid player.
Lucky they didn't have that rule when I was playing. I used to give them heaps.
Kick towards the middle of the ground.
Good kick.
And that was a very good kick. Mark Slogan takes the mark, but he turns it over.
Spindles was not interested.
No, he wasn't. Decided I'll stay out of this one.
Gent again.
Good Mark Waterston to Gent. Gent just keeps trying, needs more support. Kicks towards the centre of the ground. Stenning does well, almost took the mark. Then he shrugs the tackle with brute strength. Kicks to Dennis Lane. Socket by McLean. Taken by McDonald. Held in a tackle. Going nowhere in a hurry. That Chase Harris is a pretty tough young man.
Good tackle.
Holds him up nicely,
Well
30 from goal.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, geez, that was good tackle.
98 to 53 on the Catapult Sports scoreboard.
It's one-on-one in the forward line with McDonald. You do not want to be there, and he did a great job.
He did. There's going to be a free kick here.
What happened there?
Will get it.
I missed that.
Yes, must have been over the shoulder or off the play. He's got a chance to cut it to 39 points with just their second goal of the second half. The veteran Shane McDonald, he doesn't miss too many. Gee, I put the absolute moz on the great man.
Well done, mate.
8-6-54 to 15-8-98. The margin 44 points on the Catapult Sports scoreboard, creating technology to help athletes and teams perform to their true potential. Back into play. Heratuku's there again, and he takes another. No, not paid. Off hands. Probably fair enough when you think about it. In front of our commentary position.
I like what Joey Fisher's done too. He didn't have a really good first half, but he's battled it out in the second half, and he's really had a crack at it. I really respect that. I reckon that's great.
So ball's at half forward. Heratuku beats Gilbert. Charging in Sutton. Goes front on. Casey was right with him. He was the big brick wall, Jackson Casey, who's done well going back into the midfield. Sort of had to by necessity with Armitage getting injured with the hammy just before half-time. Gilbert, Heratuku, Harnett there, lost it, regained it, throws it on the boot, kicks the Bombers to half forward, camped underneath it, young Dave, but he's given away the free kick to Dids. Dids takes the mark at right half forward. His team well in front. 98 to 53 on the scoreboard. Kicks quickly, inside 50, looking for someone to mark. No one can. It slips to the back. There's going to be a free kick off the play, and it will go the way of Douglas as the pack collapsed. And Douglas with the free kick for Bonbeach. Kicks towards Peckett through his fingers. Couldn't take the mark. Casey picks it up, but it's turned over by Block. Harnett gets on the end of it from Avery. Harnett kicks long towards full forward. 2-on-1 across the face and through for a behind as we go round the grounds for Mornington Timber and Decking. Devon Meadows by 21 points over Somerville. 88-67. Coringal behind. Seaford 11-12, 78 to 9-13, 67. Some good games of footy in second division, remembering 9% separating third and sixth, all on 16 points going into this round. Boundary throw in 30 metres out from the goal that they're attacking at the moment, the Bombers. Dids gets the kick smothered again, ricochets. Hurried kick by Stenning towards the wing. Lee overruns it. Sullivan taken to ground and a brutal tackle. The tackling still exists for the Bombers like they're 1 point behind and they need to find a way to win the game. I think they're going to win by 45 points in the most impressive performance of the season so far. Tapped down by Herituku. Sharked by Harnett. High kick towards centre half forward. Grant gets up, couldn't take the mark. Herituku doing some roving. Then he flicks a hand pass out where he sells his teammate into all sorts of froth and bubble. Trouble, that is.
Dan, just on that, in Div 1, Germana cut the Mount Eliza lead to 11. So we are getting tight in that game in Division 1. 11 points, Mount Eliza up on Germana.
It's still one goal between Red Hill and Pines as well, thanks to Mornington Timber and Decking. Secondary ball up again. Herituku wins it out of the ruck, throws it on the boot, sliding ball, Grant there, bounces in front, might win the footy on the left. He kicks off the side of the boot, running high ball. No one can take the mark, close to the boundary. Bailey attempted the mark running with the fly, wasn't able to hang on, and it's a boundary throw in 25 around. 15-8-98 to 8-5-53, and the Bombers by 45 points. Nearly 8 minutes gone in the final quarter on the Catapult Sports scoreboard. Our coverage today, thanks to Jigsaw Finance. McLean from behind, that's Ben, wins it down for Bonbeach. Mitch Gent works hard, can't get hold of the footy. It's again contested contest in front of the cricket nets on the outer side here of Greg Beck Oval on one of the best days you're ever likely to experience for football. Not a cloud in the sky. Open-handed slap by Herituku. Emerging out of the contest, Casey brought down, brings it to the wing now, and Reece Hogan has it. He manages to change direction and get around Greeley, deliver in the middle to Sullivan. That's a better hit up. Handball's over the top 50. Now. 50 metres, player walked over the mark. Justice Stenning, who's had a good second half, given them plenty of run.
That's one of those rules, isn't it? Keep running forward, son. But that was a great kick inboard from Hogan.
It was.
That really opened up the game. 40
metres out, Sullivan. They need a goal here. And he has swung it left through for a behind at the southern end. 8-6-54 to 15-8-98. 8-7-55 it is now. They move it forward by 2. They miss the other behind. Avery back into play in short. And he manages to hit the chest of the reliable Chase Harris in the outer back pocket.
He's had a good day, Chase Harris.
He's been terrific. And now he swings it wide. And Mark to Amelfi. Still inside defensive 50. Kicks down the line.
He's an elite kick.
He's a beautiful kick, isn't he?
You look at him as a halfback flanker and you go...
He's a star, this kid, Dids.
Oh, Dids,
He kicks into the centre of the ground. Mark not taken by Matt Harris. He was behind his opponent. And Gilbert manages to win the footy with that loping style.
Gent for
lovely
his 60th.
little kick inside. And he finds Gent again. Saw him at the corner of his eye. Gent, long bomb inside 50. From behind, great Mark Slogan. Good wrestling, Harris against Fisher. Allowed Mark Slogan an even easy jump on his own. One-hander Mark dropped by Avery. Runs into trouble. Gets the hand pass off to Dids. Awkward looking hand pass in the direction of Charles. Worried out of it by Hogan. Hogan gets around to tackle. Reece Hogan 45 metres out, an open goal. Bouncing for Mark Slogan to get it. And he's so miserly that he didn't want to rush it through for a behind, and he brings it out to the outer side of the ground and they can set it up again. Good play taken by Wood. He's not happy with his disposal, but he had a teammate run onto it, and that's Garrett. Garrett kicks to half forward on the outer side. He was impeded, Fox. Dids again, forces the handball forward. Kingsbury, handball's now in the direction of Pryor. Pryor dabbles it out to the great man. His spindle shakes. 45 from goal. And he has a flying shot. He misses. Jared Grant behind.
They've
Been a
got
bit
some,
wasteful today.
they've got some really good kids, Frankston, haven't they? Like Charles's been fantastic behind the ball. Dids has been fantastic. Wood has been fantastic. Yeah, there's a lot to like about Frankston's kids.
Back into play. Corrigan takes the mark, kicks down the ground. 1 on 2. Stenning couldn't take the mark, but he does well to soccer it forward. Coming the other way is Drake. He lopes after it now. Stenning's there. Hewlett as well is not fit. He flicks a hand pass over the top to Kingsbury. Likewise now to Charles and to Greeley and to Marks Logan, who's worried out of it by Gilbert, who puts him over the boundary in front of the social club rooms here at Greg Beck Oval. Margin 44 points on the Catapult Sports scoreboard.
He is.
15-9-99 to 8-7-55. We need another behind for Bonbeach to get the best score in radio in footy. 8-8-56, brother. Kingsbury goes through, loses it. Gilbert has it. Taken in a tackle. Well tackled Pryor. Got the hand pass out on the outside to Corrigan. Now to Gent. He's also involved in a tackle. Slips back to Corrigan. Kicks down the line again. Fisher does well to push Drake out of it. Picks it up now. He stumbles in like Susie Quattro and Chris Norman. And then he tried the centering ball. Turned over by Chase Harris. Vacuumed on the half volley by Pryor. Was exquisite. Got the hand pass to the awkward kicking style of Garrett. Garrett finds Haratuku. Haratuku will lope it long towards full forward, looking for someone to mark, and they
Foxy?
do. But there's a free kick for a shove out against Fox, who outmarked an opponent in the last line, and the free kick will go to Murray, who normally plays in the forward line, but giving some experience in the last line for Bonbeach. He spreads it wide to Bailey, who kicks it down the outer wing again, and there should nearly be a free kick. Good tackling, forces the ball to Jaffrey. Grant will win it on the up. Handballs to Dids, who's been magnificent. He kicks to half forward again. And getting out and taking the mark is Fox. About 55 from goal on a 25 to 30 degree angle. Longham, who's been a little bit of a decoy today in his second game back, made a lead into the pocket for the Bombers. It's a wonderful story, considering all the footy he's missed with bad knees and blowing a calf up as well. But he's back playing senior footy, his second game today.
This is going to test him, Foxy.
Fox in short. There's Grant. No, didn't attempt to take the mark. It was dropped at the back by Reece Hogan, but he tidies up and he spreads to the outer side of the ground. Bailey, who's been pretty good today, marks at half-back. He's in front of the cricket nets. He kicks down the line again. Pryor gets up and a good interception. Marks on the wing. He elects to go and forward to Wood, but he turns it over horribly. Gent was waiting at the back and said, thanks very much. And that is the ultimate turnover when you don't hit your target. Dennis Lane takes the mark at left half forward, Holtz.
Can you get best on ground if you've lost by 44 points? Because Mitch Gent's had about 58 to this stage. He's just destroying him.
He's already won a couple of sleeves of Titleist golf balls from the Rosebud Country Club. He's been outstanding. Just hasn't had enough support, has he?
No, he hasn't. But Trent Dennis Lane lining it for 3, is it?
Slightly left of centre half forward for his third goal and 13th of the season.
Never misses. Never misses. Oh, he missed, did he?
And there's my score, 8-8-56, brother, to 15-9-99 at the 14-minute mark of the last quarter.
We've hardly seen Trent Dennis Lane since that first sort of quarter through, or early in the second quarter. The supply that's going down to him has been non-existent. But in saying that, he's done a fantastic job on him.
Amalfi off the side of the boot, Harnett in the chopper. And it's punched over the boundary. Avery gets involved, and he wasn't able to rake it in, though.
Yeah, Garrett's been good. Garrett's been good.
Very solid, hasn't he?
Yeah, very good.
He's done his job today, hasn't he? His father is the club games record holder here at the Bombers. He's a solid lockdown defender. Dylan Garrett, tapped to the front by Gilbert. And Jackson Casey tries to win it out, can't. Mitch Gent is there, socket forward by Stenning. He's had a good second half.
He got accosted
and then Mitch Charles is into the back, pushed forward in the momentum, and Sullivan in the right position again will take that free kick for the Sharks. And can he kick a goal?
He's got to
cut the margin to 37 points.
He's got a good bouffant of hair, hasn't he?
He has.
Sullivan. Look at it. You'd love a bit of hair like that, wouldn't you?
I did used to have hair like that. I had a perm, remember?
Oh, rubbish.
Rob Ruff, the survey
says.
You had
nothing, Dan.
45 metres out. Jack Sullivan's kick doesn't quite get there off hands and through for yet another behind. 8-9-57 to 15-9-99. The beautiful kicking style of Amalfi will go around the grounds for Mornington Timber and Decking shortly. Kicks it low and flat, but horribly straight to Gilbert. Marks front head centre square, and he dabs a little pass to the brilliant Gent, who takes the mark at centre half forward 40 from goal.
Is there a cure for leather poisoning? I think they found it. Rightio.
He's tried his backside off, hasn't he?
Do you want to go around the grounds or after he kicks this, Dan?
We'll go after he's kicked it, I reckon.
This. Rightio.
For Mornington Timber and Decking. Glenn's got his phone. You've got your phone.
DIV2, there's some
We've got
real
more
good stuff
phones here
going
than
on
Telstra. Shot at goal.
Optus, mate. Optus. Oh, are they?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Telstra Business Technology Centre of Melbourne South. Gareth and the team. 45 metres out. Again, he's missed. So they've had a few chances in the last quarter. Here we go, round the grounds.
So Mornington are now 2 goals up on Chelsea. So that's
I tipped this.
Yep. We've got Tyab. Jesus, Tyab, 27 points up on Crib Point going into the last quarter. Here's a boil over. Devon Meadows are now 19 points up on Somerville. And Seaford are absolutely giving Coringal the Brass Razoo. They are 15-12, 102 to 9-14, 68.
Matt Harris.
Wowee.
Kicks to the wing on the outer side.
Yeah.
Kingsbury gets high, couldn't take the mark off hands. And Bonbeach win the footy again. Looking to charge off halfback through Jackson Casey again. Switching to play to young Peckett. Can't take the mark. Charles got a spoil in. Then does well. Paddle it effectively to Seth Harris. To Pryor. To Greeley all by hand. Front head centre square. Kick too long for Dids. And defensive mark at halfback by Corrigan. On the skids to Gent again. Yet another possession. Floats a hand pass to the barrel-chested Stenning. Kicks inside 50, but a very strong defensive mark taken by Sam Drake, who's an unsung, reliable defender.
Been fantastic all day, yes.
He sure has. So Drake with the footy will head to the outer side of the ground. Just one goal kick this quarter for the Bombers. And off hands, won by Corrigan. Corrigan taps to your man again, Gent. Gent takes the mark. He wants players to run towards him. He'll go for a half-distance pass, but turn it over to Seth Harris, as it was intended for Sonny Peckett. And he goes wide now to his brother Chase. Seth to Chase. And now to Kingsbury in the middle of the ground. Had it spoiled late by Day, but wins his own footy at ground level. Darts one way, then the other, and then spreads it wide to Fox, who's had a lot of the footy in the second half. Fox marks in front of our commentary position. Bombers by 42 points. Goes back to the middle of the ground again and spots up Matt Harris marking at half back. Matt Harris in short and finds Chase Harris, or Charles it was. He's in short, Charles. And now Pryor a hand pass to Seth on the outside. Pushing his opponent underneath at Wishart. He pops a kick over the top to Jared Grant. That was very clever play. Heady football by young Wishart, who kicked a very clever goal in the second quarter when they got on that run of 8 goals to 2.
Is he going to run around, Dan, or drop punt? What do you reckon?
Oh, who knows?
That's all the vogue these days.
Who knows what the great man's going to do? Who knows what he's going to do? I think he's got the goal of the day for Anytime Fitness.
I think he's going to drop punt.
And he's missed a few set shots today.
He's going to keep it conventional.
He certainly has. He's kicked 4 goals to 1. And Jared Grant has kicked the goal. No, he hasn't.
Dan. Right, quick round the grounds in DIV1,
10, 100 to 8, 9, 57 for Mornington Timber and Decking.
Edithvale have won, look like they've won the battle of the bottom. So they're 26 points up on Rosebud at the moment. YC pulled Sereno's pants down today. They're up by about 70 points at this stage.
Wow. Pines
and Red Hill. Red Hill at the moment, 9 points up on Pines. And Dramana Mount Liza getting tight, 11 points down there.
Kick back into play. Stenning, who's been really good, as I said. Halfback's his position. He just took a while to get going in the first half. Hadn't played footy for a while and just struggled with the intensity. As he hits Casey on the chest, behind the centre square, goes back into the middle again. Good play by Sullivan to win it at ground level. Threader hand pass out to Dennis Lane. Handballs on the outside to Day. Day in short spots up Peckett. Right half forward for Bonbeach, finishing the game off nicely. 43 points, just 1 goal kicked, and he goes in short again. Just gets over the head of the oncoming traffic, who couldn't take the mark. That was Mitch Gent. Why not? He'll get it now. He deserves a goal as he floats it high, and that is a great goal by Mitch Gent, who single-handedly has almost won best on ground in a team that has been beaten by 6 goals.
Mate, have you seen a performance from a bloke in a losing side, like not just lost, like they've lost by a fair bit? His application to just keep getting touches is phenomenal. I want to have a look at the stats on Monday morning when I get them through. Out of control. How's YC pulling down the pants on Sereno today?
Oh, they're a great side.
That's twice. So Sereno got touched up by Bonbeach pretty hard, and today, we always knew YC, but they haven't really been tested, YC. But today, they've just absolutely obliterated Sereno.
They have spifflicated them.
Tapped.
You
down
don't
in
rate
the
them, do
middle.
you?
Here's
You
Sam.
don't rate YC.
Oh, I do. Sam
Oh,
Gilbert
come
to
on,
Harnett.
mate.
Of course I do. They're a lovely club. I did their Team of the Decade a couple of weeks ago. It was a great night.
Yeah, good cashy
Bombers.
for you, mate.
Oh, it wasn't too bad. Really wins it back. And
Hey?
he flicks
Yeah.
it back in the direction of Kingsley. But Kingsbury, I should say, but he's held up in a tackle going nowhere in a hurry. And it'll be thrown up. Wing on the outer side. Open-handed slap Pryor. Emerging with it, Stenning. Stenning kicks across the face. His kick was slightly affected. McDonald's there.
He's
puts
been
that
good.
big backside on the line, but Chase Harris stood with him.
Chase
and
Harris
eventually
again.
well done to receive the hand pass from Garrett. Now he got it in the direction of Block, who kicked 2 important goals in the second quarter in his second game for the Bombers. Couldn't take the mark at ground level. Young Day. It flicks out to Lee for the Bombers. He chips it high, and it'll get away from Charles and Sullivan, the 229s. In front of our commentary position between wing and half forward.
Hey, Dan, won't it be a big night down at the pond tonight? Tybe have really kicked clear of Cribby now.
Yeah,
The
huge
pond will
win.
be erupting.
Yeah, huge win. Disappointing for Crib Point at home that they couldn't get the result they wanted, but great for Tyat and Anthony Aegis, their coach. 100-63, 37-point lead. Prior the tap, Wood tried to win it and wasn't able to and goes to ground. And also going to ground is Kingsbury, who's been enormous today for the Bombers. And might be in contention for the Titleist golf balls from the Rosebud Country Club for BOG. Pryor in the ruck. Gilbert went up way too early. Emerging Casey gets a hurried boot to ball. Sullivan there. Pinched the other way by Harris. Matt Harris casually. Tapped down by Block. Close to the boundary, Harnett. And hits the chest of Heratuku.
He's been a bit
who
quiet
marks
at this
on the
half.
wing.
Been a bit
still
quiet,
been great.
Kane. Oh, there we go.
Heratuku's
They're on
got a
here.
player on his own. Greeley's got about 40 metres. He's got acreage. Takes the mark in the middle for the Bombers. Then he kicks to half forward. Mark wasn't taken, and he tried to take it. Was Fox. Elects to push an opponent out of it. Beats him comfortably.
there we go.
And
And back to
then
Greeley.
swings it inside to Greeley. It was Day he beat. And Greeley handballs back to Fox, who delivers
the shank
into the pocket. But
he's got to run
delivers
around
badly.
now, the shank. He's got to run around. What do you reckon, Dan?
And Grant was able to make that look better than it was. It wasn't a great kick. Let's see if he can kick this hard on the boundary. No daylight. As I said, these are the shots he normally kicks, but you'd normally back him when he's hooking it around the shoulder.
He could.
Just one goal kicked in the last quarter.
He loves his drop punts, though, the Spindles.
One
Let's have a
goal
look at the goal
apiece for
umpire.
both teams. Jared Grant kicks through
he's
the
missed
footy
it.
and misses again. He's been a bit inaccurate blot at the copybook. 15-11-101 to 9-9-63 on the Catapult Sports scoreboard now.
I reckon Bonbeach have done a good job to hang in there. This could have easily been a blowout. I reckon they've done all right.
Losing Armitage as well. Back into play. Mark taken by Casey in the back pocket. He's tried his backside off too, along with Gent. In short, doesn't find the target he's looking for. Taken in a tackle and over the boundary. It was Sullivan, who should have really taken that mark and didn't, and allowed the opposition to approach him, confront him, and it cost him. Throw it up again. One by Gilbert. Gilbert charges away from the contest, but he's run down. The umpire said he got the hand pass out. I'm not sure how. Harnett receives the hand pass. 40 metres out. Harnett puts the icing on the cake. No, he doesn't. He just puts a blob of it. It just touched the post on the way through. That was a brilliant piece of play running away from the contest. 15-12-102 to 9-9-63. Back into play by McLean. Harnett didn't mark, but he feeds a long hand pass out to Dids. Handball to Wishart. Handball now to Matt Harris. He's closed down by Waterston. Still gets boot to ball. But again, Jackson Casey takes another intercept mark. Last line of defence. Margin 39. In short to Stenning. We've spoken about him finding his niche across half back. He kicks to the wing on the outer side, 2-on-1 against. Greeley wins the footy. There's the siren. One goal apiece. The Bombers are in the top 5, 15-12-102, with an accomplished performance, including an 8-goal-to-2 second quarter to set up the win. And Bonbeach, with some injury concerns to Owen Hewlett and a hamstring to David Armitage, 9-9-63. And all of a sudden, they're 3 wins and 4 losses, Bonbeach, and they're on the wrong side of the win-loss ledger and outside the top 5. Chris Holcomb.
Yeah, it was concerning today because obviously they lost Armitage, who'll probably be a couple of weeks, you think, with the hamstring. But it's probably more like their bottom 6 or 7 compared to Frankston. Really, Frankston showed up today. Their young kids were fantastic. Charles, Dids,
Wood.
The
Harrises?
Harris, yeah, like Harris did a great job on McDonald. Like the whole setup, those young kids, they must have got a lot of confidence out of what was going on through the midfield because Bonbeach were up for it early. They come hard at them, don't worry about that. So that first start from Gilbert and Armitage and Gent through that midfield, they were able to weather that storm. And I was really impressed with Bo at quarter time when he said, that's okay, let's just get through this first bit. And we've got the fitness. We'll get over the top of them. They won't be able to run the game out. And that's
he
how
gave them belief, didn't he?
Well, I was very surprised how calm he was with it all because he had confidence that they were going to run over the top of him. And that's how it panned out. That second quarter blitz was fantastic, and they couldn't go with their midfield at that stage. So besides Mitch Gent, who was just absolutely superb, Johannes, who probably shook the tag of Corrigan, Sam Fox was probably quiet, Sutts was quiet.
Good
then you
second
had
half.
Kingsbury come up.
Outstanding today.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, he
so,
was.
What's his name? Sorry, Drake was fantastic on Joey Fisher at centre half forward, so they had that. But they never had anything long to get out of trouble down the line.
Mark Slogan did his job again, as he always does.
Yeah, but that was the thing for Bonbeach. They had to play a specific way, and if Frankston Bombers were able to stop that, then they're always going to be in a bit of trouble.
They've got to find a ruckman. Hogan keeps injuring his hammy, and unfortunately for Bod, he injured a shoulder, and it was being taped and worked on today.
Well, it gets exposed against sides
night.
like this side, like Germana with Billy Gertz, like Pines when you got Russell Gabriel. So when you've got ruckman, it gets exposed, and you can't keep Shark and ruckman flat out. But the thing that today was, and especially in the first half, Hiratuku was unbelievable in that second quarter. And down the line, pack mark. If he didn't mark it, brought it to ground, and they were away. So, and that's what a lot of clubs don't have. So they were fantastic.
Well, we've got to give our awards. We'll start with the Rosebud Country Club, the Titleist golf balls. I've never been a fan of giving it to a player from the opposition when the team's been beaten by 39 points, best on ground. But you think it's got to be Mitch Gent. And I'm happy to go with you because you know the game better than I do.
Wow. It's so, look, Hiratuku set him up in the first half, but wasn't there late. Harnett was solid through that time. Kingsbury was really good all day. Even Charles in the back line was fantastic. Dids was fantastic. They had a lot of even spread bombers. So. And look, they were in and out of the game, but because they had such an even spread, they were consistently getting it through all day. I know you don't like to do it, but he was probably best on ground.
Yeah, I think he was best on ground. I mean, they didn't have enough. I mean, Jackson Casey's good in the second half. Standing halfback's his position, and he was a late call-up last night. He thought up until about 7 o'clock last night he'd be playing reserves, and then he has to switch on and play seniors, and he looked all at sea playing half forward. Pressure was on early, but then he went to halfback, and he was a very good attacking halfback flanker and could close down when he played at the Stingrays, and he played that role pretty well in the second half. There was a lot of ball that came in, and the result could have been a lot greater than it was.
Well, yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah, absolutely. The one that I didn't mention either, we saw Sam Gilbert grab the first 2 out of the ruck and then go down and hit up. Harry Pryor, we go, this is unlike Harry Pryor. And then all of a sudden, he turned it on. And he was grabbing them out of the ruck and punching them forward as hard as he could go. So Harry was fantastic.
And if Spindles kicks 8, he probably gets it. He missed some shots, didn't he?
He certainly did. If it was Trent Dennis-Lane having those shots, he wouldn't have missed, would he?
No, well, probably wouldn't have. So we'll go with Mitch Gent. I'll just go and
you wear that. I'll wear that.
Give the Titleist golf balls. No, that's okay for the Rosebud Country Club. Our goal of the day, well, I think it's got to go to the great man. He just threw the boot at it, the goal square.
First one of the day, Macca was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a great goal too. That's in contention.
You love the Spindles one.
Oh, I love Macca's goal too.
Did he in the last quarter? That was
a great goal on the run.
Very good goal.
Yeah, so goal of the day, anytime fitness.
Sam Gilbert's over the other side was worst goal of the day when he floated that one.
That's right. It was a good shot though, wasn't it? There was some rippers. So we'll go with Jared Grant, goal of the day for Anytime Fitness. Over 500 gyms around Australia, anywhere, anytime.
Mark of the day.
And our mark of the day. Well, the big fella took 6 or 7, didn't he?
Hiratuku, you could have at any. He's the best contested mark in the comp by that far.
Yeah.
That's not because it's dying art. Like to be able to pluck it with 2 or 3 blokes hanging off you don't get a lot of that anymore.
No.
And he consistently does it all the time. And I thought a couple that he took today were were spot on. Oh, fantastic.
So mark of the day for Growth Syndicates Australia. We might get around the grounds before we go for Mornington Timber and Decking. GSA helping you eliminate debt, consolidate debt and pay off the mortgage in around 5 years. Around the grounds, Mornington Timber and Decking. They've got the highest standards in both quality and service.
Wow.
Call reception on 5975 1031 or John Gash directly on 0427 028 450.
Wow.
What are you wowing about, Holtz?
Wow, there's a lot of results that went hard in the last quarter. They're different to what we started the quarter with.
Yes.
Let's go second division for a start.
Yep.
Mornington Chelsea at 3/4 time. What's their point in it?
1 point, Chelsea's way.
Yep. So Mornington have run out. They're 26 points up.
Yeah,
So
I
they
thought
have
they'd
kicked
win
clear in
today.
the last quarter.
I wasn't sure what the margin would be, but I thought they'd find a way.
Yep.
They're probably the best 1-5 team we've ever seen on the peninsula.
Well, Crib Point Tyab.
Tyab have beaten them.
Well, Crib
comfortably.
Point. Tyab are 24 points up.
Wow.
Well done, Tyab. Good work, Yabby. Nip, 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 nip. Summy Devon Meadows.
Devon Meadows have beaten them.
Wow, it's a 25-point win to Devon Meadows.
Gee.
Well, they're 25 points up at the moment anyway. How's this one? Seaford versus Coringal. Coringal were up by about 24, 30 points at one stage.
Good young side, Seaford. They play that ground so well too.
They've won by 40 points.
Wow, it's disappointing
40 points
Coringal
up.
falling away.
Oh,
Coringal and Chelsea were
that's disappointing
disappointed
for
because they were
Coringal.
big opportunities for them to set themselves up. As we said, there were 4 teams, Chelsea, Coringal, Devon and Pearsdale, separated by 9% between 3rd and 6th on 16 points going into today's round in second division.
That's so disappointing. And the percentage is going to pay a lot to play, but yeah, that's disappointing for them. Pearsdale had a great win against Hastings by 10 goals.
Yep.
And Langy ended up beating Rye by close to the same. So that's a great round. It's good to see some of those clubs, like especially Tyab, have a win. They're fantastic. I know they get on the keyboard and have a crack at me all the time and say that I put them down. I'm always supportive of them. I love Ant. He's a great bloke. Couple of blokes down there are rippers, and I always have a time.
You
It's
love
good to see
Corey
them have a
Buchan,
win.
don't you?
Yeah, classic. Is it? Will Hose, one of my favourites.
Correct. And Edie Asp, they've had a win today too. And look, they were beaten by a very
Big
good
one.
side last week, and they got close to Red Hill the week before. They haven't been far away.
No, look, Edithvale's good for them, 39 points. But Rosebud, on the other hand, Julie won't be too happy with that.
No, he
But
won't be.
39 points, Edithvale won. I reckon Lopo's had a big day.
I think he's had a very,
Our man
very
Kurt.
big day, young Kurt.
Our man
we
Kurt.
love him.
Yeah, we love him. He's had a good day. Yeah, Sereno YC, 10 goals to YC.
Oh.
I told you, didn't I? Have you seen them play live this year?
Yeah, saw them against Bonbeach.
Oh,
Weren't
mate.
great for 3 quarters, but had a great last quarter.
Yeah, that was round 1.
Yeah, it
you
was.
want to see them play now?
Yeah, very
They made a mockery of Frankston Bombers on this ground
Yeah.
when I went and watched them. Very good.
Their defence very good again today.
Yeah. Red Hill beat Pines by 16 points.
Solid win. They needed to win that
Yeah, they
because
did.
they've been playing some good footy,
They did.
but they've got to start putting the results on the board.
Yeah, no, and so that's a good effort from Red Hill today. And the big one, Tremana Mount Eliza down at Tremana, 16 points. Mount Eliza got up. So, and it was a low scoring, 7 goals to 9, so it was reasonably low scoring. So they've obviously had a crack at trying to stop the big three-headed monster of Tremana.
Yes.
But that's a good win. Mount Eliza, again, they're good. But I think
they're on top of
YC
it.
will take over percentage.
YC and Mount Eliza are the best 2 at the moment. It could be a YC Mount Eliza grand final.
Well, it's a bit
We'll take
early for
any
that
day of the
because we
week.
saw a very good side out here today.
We did.
So don't worry about that.
We
And
did.
I think it's a great thing about this comp is like you could have a side start to hit the straps round 14, 15 and lead into the finals and go, oh, they're going to be hard to stop. Same as Bonbeach.
Well,
they can do
they've got momentum now.
Yeah.
They've got Rosebud and they've got Eddie Ass before the
Yeah,
bye.
yeah. So-
Bombers, and they can set their season up a bit and be 6-3 with a reasonable percentage,
Yep.
and then have a real crack at it in the second half of the year.
Yeah, really good. I was happy for Bombers today because I'd seen them a couple of times this year and they'd been a little bit disappointing. But yeah, Bonbeach we saw against Sereno. They were ultra impressive. Today they had a couple of injuries, but still it was a bit
They
disappointing.
just can't get the full list in.
Yeah, but anyway.
That's been really hard for them. So our best on ground, winning the Titleist golf balls yet again, thanks to Rosebud Country Club, is Mitch Gent
He
in
gets
a
best on
losing
every time we're on.
performance. Pardon?
He gets best on every time we're
Third
on.
time. Third time. You can only go on what you think, and we thought he was
Oh,
outstanding. He just
I
kept
rate
at
him.
it all day. Our
I
goal
rate
of the day for Anytime Fitness for Jared Grant, and our mark of the day for Growth Syndicates Australia goes to Khan Heratuku. Our scoreboard sponsor, we thank Catapult Sports. creating technology to help athletes and teams perform to their true potential, and a naming rights sponsor, Jigsaw Finance. Experience the difference with the right home loan, Dave and the team. So congratulations to the Bombers. We've got a big footy show on Wednesday night. Our guests, the injured captain of the Frankston YCW Football Club, Kev Lilac.
Oh, great.
And we're also going to have Riley Darcy from the Coringal Football Club joining us for the second division show.
Fantastic.
So they'll be our guests this Wednesday night. We look forward to your company then. Have a great day and always get your game face on.